Am I recording audio? Mine is very quiet too. I'm gonna shuffle a little bit closer to my microphone.
Oh, goodness gracious me, let me just slide my microphone a little bit further over as well.
Now you're getting into ASMR territory.
That's what people subscribed for, and that's what they're going to get.
Okay, so I don't know if you've noticed this, Nathan, but we're heading towards the end of a decade.
We are, aren't we? The 2010s are coming to a close, and we're about to hit the roaring 20s Mark II.
I've never known what to call this era. Is it the Teenies? I hate that name if it is.
I hate it too. I know people call the knots the naughties, which
I don't mind the naughties. The naughties is a fun sort of like, oh, it's the naughties.
Yeah,
there's nothing naughty about the Teenies.
Yeah, there isn't, and it also sounds quite similar to my surname, so I'm even less enthused. But
the Teenies,
that's what we'll call it. The decade of me, ladies and gentlemen. So I don't really know what we're going to call this decade. I hope it's a decade that we can just forget. By and large, it's been a hell of a time. 20s.
Oh, I don't think the roaring 20s are going to be much better, to be honest.
Well, I mean, from a naming point of view, it will be, because we've already done it in the 1900s. So we're in the 2000s now, and we can just have the 20s and the 30s and the 40s. It's very easy to name when you get into the 20s. So I just hope the first 20 years doesn't really get mentioned, because they're not really fun.
Are we going to call them the 20s again, or are they going to have to be called something different, like the 2020s?
I know. I think people will call it the 2020s, but it's a cultural thing, because back in the 1920s, culture never referred to the 1800s as the 20s and the 30s and the 40s, I don't think.
Exactly, yeah.
So it's a complete fabrication of the 1900s, when that's when they started to refer to things as that decade. So I don't know.
It's just when people started recording history more easily, printing presses and later on the internet. So history has really become more permanent.
I think people, while we're in it, is going to call it the 2020s. I think when we're in the 2040s, maybe, and you look back on it, people might say the 20s, but that will feel so surreal, because when I think 1920s, I think Peaky Blinders.
Right, okay.
Tell you what,
really
one
off topic.
thing, what we're not going to try and forget from this decade, the games.
Nice segue. So, here's a little bit of backstory. I saw a tweet which was favourite movie from each year of the decade. And by the way, we're counting decade as 2010 to 2019.
2010 to 2019.
As is customary, 2020 is the start of the next decade.
Yes. Which I would like to be aware that, or just to reference it now, because we're not going to be talking about these games through the rest of the show. But there are some games that have just come out or are yet to come out for the rest of 2019. Jedi Fallen Order just released today. The new Modern Warfare Call of Duty game just came out a couple of weeks ago. There's a couple of games to come out before the decade is out, right? But we're not going to be talking about them for obvious reasons. So if this is ever listened back to in 15 years, I don't want people to say, because this game aged really well, why did we not talk about it? Because it's too early to talk about it, frankly, and unfortunately it is a victim of its own release schedule.
Here's the thing I'm going to say right now. There's nothing that's coming out for the remainder of the year that actually interests me. Other than Civ 6, but Civ 6 came out years ago.
That's been out on PC for a long time. We are filthy Call of Duty players. We're filthy console players.
Here's another thing that's coming out this year that's interested in me. Halo Reach, which obviously already came out. So
yes, that's true. Finally, at the end of 2019, the Master Chief Collection will be almost complete.
Anyway, so I've made a big list of games for each year. And I'm going to set my rules right now. I haven't included any racing or sports games, which I'm assuming won't bother you.
Nah, I don't have any of those in my list.
I also haven't included any Lego games, because there's 2 of those per year, and I know that you don't care.
I know, I'm perfectly happy if you want to list but it's your list and you can do what you want, but if you're going to have one Lego game each year, it was a big revolutionary point in your gaming career.
Right,
I'll start to think it's a
That's why I've not included them. And other than that, I've made sort of 2 lists here. I've made a list of games that either one or both of us have played, And then a quick list to run through just to make sure that you haven't played them, if that's okay.
That's absolutely fine. Listener, we should probably say that Kyle will probably be taking a lead on this episode because he's the game guy and I'm the film guy.
Well, I guess
he also prepared.
You've said you wanted to do a movie one as well, so you can do all the prep for that one. You're the movie one.
Yeah, right, here's the thing, right? So when Kyle suggested we do a one for the video games of the decade, I wasn't really sure because I haven't played many games. I've played a bunch of games that I could find a list for the 2010s, obviously, but I didn't really know if I could keep a list going that was going to be reasonably diverse. Unlike Kyle will have a great list. I already know. I don't know what they are, but I can guess that it'll be really good. So I suggested why don't we do one for film, and then me and Kyle were going through films that Kyle has seen this decade, and they're all just Star Wars and Marvel. So we're just not going to do it because it will be really, really repetitive.
You don't want to talk about the next Marvel movie and the next Marvel movie after that.
From Avengers to Avengers Age of Ultron, they're all in your top 10 of the decade. No, I think we'll give it a miss and we'll just do video games, ladies and gentlemen. So, Kyle, take it away.
Okay, let us start with 2010. So I'm going to go through the list of games that I've put together that I haven't played and I don't think you've played either. So I'll just run through this and you tell me if you've played them or not, or even if you've played them, if you feel like you want to include them on the list.
Okie dokie.
Heavy Rain.
I have not played it.
Bioshock 2.
I might have played 5 minutes of it, but just as well as having said I've not played it.
God of War 3.
I have not played it.
Battlefield Bad Company 2.
I don't think I've played it.
Limbo.
Didn't play it.
Just Cause 2.
Don't think I played it.
Darksiders.
May have played 30 seconds of it.
Super Mario Galaxy 2.
Might have played 2 minutes of it.
Medal of Honor.
Yes, I've played that.
Do you want to include it?
I don't give a shit about it.
Mafia 2.
Didn't play it, but we have a semi-listener of the show who thinks it would make it on his list. It'd probably be number 2.
Okay, so honourable mention to Mafia 2.
Honourable mention to Mafia 2. I've never played it, but everyone in the world says it's really, really good, so I can imagine anyone who we know that might listen to this list who has played it.
That's why I've included Heavy Rain. Heavy Rain's a big popular one. Limbo's a big popular one. Alan Wake.
Oh, I remember Alan Wake. No, I've never played it. And
Dead Rising 2.
Yes, I've played Dead Rising 2 and I would not put it on my list.
Okay, so here's the bold list of games that we've both, or one or both of us have played from 2010.
Right. Well, this is going to be you.
You'd be surprised. Mass Effect 2.
Yes, I've played. That's a worthy contender.
Yep. Call of Duty Black Ops.
Was that 2010?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, that's a worthy contender.
Red Dead Redemption. I know you haven't played it, but I'm sure you wouldn't argue that it's not a worthy contender.
I wouldn't argue it's contenders.
Fallout New Vegas.
I've played it. Everybody absolutely loves Fallout New Vegas. I don't much an opinion on the Fallout franchise, so I won't deny its place.
Assassin's Creed Brotherhood.
Yes, definitely.
Halo Reach.
Obviously.
Fable 3.
Understandable.
And The Force Unleashed 2.
Oh, no.
No.
No, let's not do that one.
So, let's discuss. I know that you're obviously going to be vying heavy for Halo Reach here, so...
Halo Reach is number 1, and if it isn't number 1, I'm just going to cut the recording.
I think Mass Effect 2 is probably the most worthy contender on this list. I love spicy. Mass Effect 2.
How are we categorizing this in reference to, is it the story? Is it the gameplay? Is it the hours spent? Is it the meaning of the game to us personally? Because I would say the story of Mass Effect 2 is much more in-depth and probably more science fiction-y. Halo Reach is, as much as I have fond memories of it, the story is quite a paint-by-numbers,
Halo Reach is definitely more memorable for the multiplayer memories. Exactly. I mean, how long did we spend? We spent basically the entire year of 2010 and 2011 playing Halo Reach.
It didn't come out until September 2010. I don't think I bought it until February 2011.
I didn't get it till Christmas, I don't think.
Right, you didn't get it till Christmas. I got it in February because that's when I got my first Xbox 360 of 2011.
But that's basically the next 2 years of our life is playing Halo Reach.
Yeah, because even when Halo 4 came out, we were predominantly still playing a lot of Halo Reach. So that could be from 2011 right through to 2013.
Anyway, you were asking what are... I wasn't planning on doing, like, this is objectively the best game of the year.
We could do objectively. That's just a...
Yeah.
It's a false start.
Just whatever you prefer. So, I haven't played The Force Unleashed 2, but you were very against The Force Unleashed 2.
If Star Wars only existed as The Force Unleashed and The Force Unleashed 2, that's all Star Wars ever was. No films, no other games, no anything. It was just, those were two games that were brand new IPs, and it was Star Wars Force Unleashed 1, Star Wars Force Unleashed 2.
Mm-hmm.
Star Wars Force Unleashed 2 isn't that bad. But I have holdovers from before Disney bought Lucasfilm.
Yep. I
really enjoyed The Force Unleashed 1. Very, very good game. Sam Witwer, who does the voice of Darth Maul and stuff now. He was Starkiller in those games, and the first one fit very neatly and very nicely into the canon of Star Wars and how it kind of tied into the birth of the rebellion and stuff. It's a very, very nice game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, Star Wars Battlefront 2, Star Wars The Force Unleashed 2, kind of throws that out the window and kind of just tries to force a sequel in where it kind of didn't need.
Is that's the game where you can end it by either killing Darth Vader or the Emperor, right?
That's the first one.
That's the first one. Okay, so not super neatly into it then.
Right, you don't actually kill either of them. You can really heavily wound Darth Vader, I think, but you die outright, or you actually can go for the Emperor, and I think Darth Vader's fine, but you still fail to kill the Emperor, and then you become like kind of like a dark side Inquisitor before Inquisitors were a thing. You get like a weird Mandalorian type helmet thing on, and you're kind of all dark sidey, and you kind of forget who you are. You're like a Winter Soldier Inquisitor. I think that's how the game ends, but all the protagonists that you meet along the way kind of build up the rebellion in your honor.
Mm-hmm.
But
and then in the second game, you're a clone, right?
The second game, you're a clone, and you're seeing hallucinations of the love interest from the first game. And I think Darth Vader keeps making different clones because he's trying to refine all of the issues from the original Starkiller out of the clone, but it's just impossible. And eventually, you escape the captivity as the clone that you're going to play the game as. And you have the Force. I think there was questions about if clones could have Force powers, but they can.
I don't see any reason why clones couldn't have Force powers.
Midichlorians. So yeah, I don't know. It's not a bad game. It's a follow up to The Force Unleashed, but just and I suppose, like I say, none of this should matter because Lucasfilm kicked it all out anyway when Disney acquired them. So it literally shouldn't matter.
Baby.
It literally shouldn't matter because even the first Force Unleashed doesn't matter now anyway. But it was, I really bugged me at the time, and it's bugged me to this day, and it just wasn't as good as the original. So I would have reservations about it.
So other possible contenders, Black Ops is one of the games that's considered like one of the last great Call of Duty games, right?
I don't know. I would say Black Ops 2 was pretty darn good in 2012.
I like Black Ops 2 as well.
I'm sure we're going to get onto that.
Yes. Red Dead Redemption, love it to death. I still think you should play it to this day, even though it's like 10 years old.
Yeah, I know. Everyone thinks that it's almost required gaming for people that really enjoy a story-driven, open-world game.
It's absolutely true.
I can't argue with anyone on Red Dead because number one, I've not really played it, and number two, I'd be fighting a lost cause because even if I had played it and genuinely believed that there was nothing to it, the rest of the world would just simply will me into subservience to it. I couldn't possibly win that fight even if I believed it.
Well, one day I'll win the fight to make you play it.
One day, man. I don't know. I'd really need to have a lot of like willpower to play it. I have just started playing Jedi Fallen Order and I realised how intense the game was going to be, and I kind of can't be bothered already.
Oh, God. You're a nightmare.
I'm a complete nightmare. I'm very good at linear games that take about 9 hours to complete the single player. I'm really good at that. I finished the new Call of Duty campaign in like a day and a half, and it was brilliant, and I loved it. But these open world games, I used to kind of pretend that I could do it. Like I've done Mass Effect. I don't
Mass Effect isn't an open world game.
No, but a big kind of role-playing RPG, massive, relatively free roamy game where you can you don't have to follow a path in 9 hours. You know, I feel the struggle now, so I don't know if I could ever go back to Red Dead. Maybe one day I'll take a big U-turn in my current direction and love to do it, and I'll have so many games to go back and rediscover, but right now I don't know when I'm going to go and play it.
I'm
but
waiting for that day. I really am.
If you want it on the list, I can't fight you.
Assassin's Creed Brotherhood. I like Brotherhood. First Assassin's Creed game with multiplayer. Big deal.
Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, I think until Assassin's Creed 4, was my most favourite Assassin's Creed game. I thought Brotherhood from a story perspective, from a multiplayer perspective, because I didn't like Revelations multiplayer. 3's multiplayer took a long time for me to like. I did like it in the end, but it took me a long time to get there. Brotherhood was amazing. I totally would belong on the list. Are we going to start eliminating the games that make it to the list against each other?
I guess we have to, right? I mean, I'm going to eliminate Fable 3. I like Fable 3, but it's not belonging on this list for sure.
I'm surprised you said that. I thought I was going to be the one that was a bit lukewarm to it. I would have let you have it, but I really thought you would have pushed for it.
I mean, it has issues. Number one is that I can't ever finish it because it's got that achievement to get all the legendary weapons. And you can't get all the legendary weapons in one game. You have to trade with other players to get them.
And you've decided I will never play it with you? Yes. Didn't we get married to get an achievement?
We did get married to get an achievement. It was very romantic.
We did. It was a fleeting marriage, but it worked.
Fallout New Vegas, I honestly haven't played it, so.
You haven't? Oh, I thought you would have.
No.
I don't know. I know we've other various friends that have played it and like it they'll rant and rave about it the same way another friend of ours would rant and rave about Mafia 2.
Probably the same friend. Ryan, friend of the show.
I was thinking of something completely different, but
no.
Yeah, Ryan, friend of the show, he would definitely agree with the placement of Fallout New Vegas.
Here's the issue, though. If neither of us have played it, can't really include it properly, so...
I've played a bit of it. I've got it sitting in my shelf over there.
I just got it through Game Pass, and I was like, I'm going to play this before Outer Worlds, and I just never did.
Yeah, so sorry, Fallout New Vegas fans. We just can't justify it on our list at this time. Maybe we'll do one of the century when we're old, and maybe it'll make it, but right now, sorry.
Call of Duty Black Ops, I think we can safely knock off as well.
We can knock off Black Ops.
It's great for the memes. The numbers, what do they mean? All that stuff.
Yeah. Black Ops 1 was, I think, people remember it really fondly for a certain age group. But for me, it was never a Modern Warfare. But we'll get on to Modern Warfare at some point, I assume.
Well, as far as I'm concerned, the two good Modern Warfares have already happened by this point, so...
Ooh, that's a spicy take.
Yep, I know. So that leaves us with Mass Effect 2, Red Dead Redemption, AC Brotherhood, and Halo Reach. I already know you're voting for Halo Reach, so I'm
Of course I'm voting for Halo Reach.
I'm gonna go ahead and elect... I'm gonna go with Red Dead Redemption. I'm gonna do it.
I'll tell you. I mean, I can't disagree with you, but I'll tell you what's kind of ironic about me voting for Halo Reach. I probably would openly agree, despite not having played Red Dead, that Halo Reach has the worst story out of all the games.
I mean, she should have raised her shields, man. I mean,
you should have raised her shields. That goddamn needler rifle. Sorry. But no, that's fine. Halo Reach and Red Dead, they are two worthy additions, or the first additions, should we say, to this list of the decade.
Yep.
That's 2010, ladies and gentlemen.
So, 2011, my list of games which I don't think you've played.
2011.
It's a shorter one. Deus Ex Human Revolution.
I was out the day that came out.
Mm-hmm. Uncharted 3.
Nope, not played it.
Rage.
Not played it.
Shadows of the Damned.
These are all games I'm familiar with the box art for, but never played.
Crisis 2.
Never played.
The Witcher 2.
Never played.
The Cars 2 video game.
Of course. Who hasn't played the Cars 2
I
video
have
game?
played the Cars 2 video game, but I'm not including it on my list.
No, I never played. I played the Cars 1 video game, but unfortunately,
that was a damn classic. That was
so great for that age. I would play it right now, but let's not get bogged down. Cars 2 not on the list.
And Super Mario 3D Land.
I don't know if I played that. But we'll say no, but there's every opportunity that I could have.
Okay, so this is 2011's a longer list than the last one. Skyrim. Which you have played, but you're the one person on the planet who doesn't like Skyrim.
I met someone recently who doesn't like Skyrim.
And you were like, Ken.
Yeah, it was like, we are of the same cloth. Loves Oblivion, though.
You've played... You're memeing me, aren't you?
No, I said they loved Oblivion. Like, they're a big fan of the Elder Scrolls world. They just didn't like Skyrim.
Some people don't like Skyrim because it's not as RPG enough for them, which I understand. But I love Skyrim because it was the first one I played. Anyway, moving on. Modern Warfare 3.
Yes, I could rant and rave at Modern Warfare 3 for a long time.
Portal 2.
Yeah, I've played a little bit of it, probably with you, but I couldn't really.
You're not smart enough for it.
No, I have Portal 1 on Games for Gold downloaded, and I can't bring myself to play it because I don't want to get frustrated with it.
If you're looking for a short game, Portal 1 only lasts about 3 or 4 hours.
Seriously?
Yeah, it's really, really short.
Okay, then.
Dark Souls. I've played 5 minutes of Dark Souls and I got frustrated with it and quit.
That's most of my gaming experience. I definitely own Dark Souls, but I don't know if I played it.
I wasn't sure about this one, but I think you might have played it at Battlefield 3?
I briefly played it. I remember playing it, and I don't have an opinion on it, because I do have an opinion on it, that's a lie. I was so entrenched in Modern Warfare 3, I couldn't get over the hump to accept Battlefront. Battlefield, rather. Battlefield, it was the same game, but different in my mind when I was, 12, 13 years old. I couldn't do it.
Batman Arkham City, which I know you haven't played, even though you should. It's another one of these legendary classics that you really should have played.
I've played Arkham City.
You have played Arkham City?
I haven't played Asylum, I've played City.
Oh. Well, fuck me.
I owned it. I owned it and Skyrim on disc.
Saints Row the Third.
Great game.
LA Noire.
Amazing game. Bloody brilliant.
Assassin's Creed Revelations.
Solid game.
Dragon Age 2, which is, it's fine.
They're recent games to your repertoire.
They are recent games to my repertoire, but I'm still going to count them in the year they came out.
This is absolutely fine. Absolutely fine.
Dead Space 2.
I've played Dead Space 2, I think. I own all 3. I've definitely played 1. I might have played 2 and I played the beta for 3. They all blur together in my mind, except I know in the third one you had a co-op character.
I thought you were a fan of the Dead Space franchise. I must have gotten that confused.
Yeah, you've definitely got it confused. Okay. It was someone else.
And Gears of War 3.
I think I dabbled in Gears 3. I was a late adopter to Gears of War. I own the first one, I own the second one. I believe I've played the third one. I've played 4 and I've played 5.
Okay.
I own 4 and 5 as well.
I think initially going into this you were thinking Modern Warfare 3, but given that reaction, I think you might be competing with LA Noire.
Yeah, I never actually considered LA Noire. Like, again, as we've discussed at the head of the episode, you're the more prepared one. Definitely right, LA Noire.
This is why I put a list, because I knew you were going to forget things that you've played.
Yeah, LA Noire is a terrific game. It's actually my favourite Rockstar game. Everybody rants and raves about Bully. I never played Bully, and I look at the trailers and gameplay and stuff. I don't get why everyone loves Bully. Red Dead, I get why people like it. The appeal is there. There's a market for it. Clearly, the sequel came out and absolutely broke out all the computer screens because of how good it was.
Oh, we'll get to Red Dead 2.
Right, okay, we'll get to Red Dead 2. So I understand the appeal for Red Dead. I get it. GTA, nobody needs to defend GTA. Everyone loves GTA.
I've never played L.A. Noire. I've always meant to. But
I never
as far as the greater appeal goes, people don't like L.A. Noire, as far as I'm aware.
Right, I never bought the remaster for, I don't know why, probably hard drive space. But L.A. Noire is a supreme game. Kind of chokes a bit on the ending, but at least 3/4 of the game is absolute gold. It's amazing. I rant and rave about L.A. Noire. It's so good. Such a good game. Best Rockstar game ever made. I would love them to make a sequel. I think there's still whispers they're going to make one, but then there's GTA 6 will probably be the next one, and then it'll probably be a Red Dead 3. So I don't know if we'll ever get round to it, but my god, it's a good game. Definitely I have my vote. That has my vote.
Okay, so you're much better at these votes than I am.
How are you more conflicted?
There's a bunch of really good games on this list.
I mean, I like Modern Warfare 3. I could have batted for it. Revelations, I could have batted for it. I don't know what other games you named because I haven't played so many of them. Oh, Saints Row the Third. That is my favourite Saints Row game. God, but as much as I love it, and I really do love it, the pounding of L.A. Noire, just I can't compete.
Well, this is fun because I've not played L.A. Noire, so I have no basis for this. But you're definitely batting strong for it.
Yeah, I'm batting strong for it. I'd advise you to play it.
Here's my dilemma. Skyrim, legendary game, obviously.
Yeah.
Portal 2, really like it.
It's very also iconic.
Fan. It's very iconic. I don't know if I liked it more than Skyrim, though, so I'm going to eliminate that.
You always seem more
Batman
of a
Arkham
guy
City.
Arkham, yeah, true.
Amazing game. Love it to death. I don't know if it beats Skyrim, though. These are the two it's coming down to for me, is Batman Arkham City or Skyrim.
I happen to know, based on seeing you go back and replay it, Skyrim has a higher replayability. I think
That's true.
Arkham City had its time and it's gone, where the Skyrim is still around.
Here's the thing, though. I don't know how much of that I can give to Skyrim itself. Like, Skyrim, in order to be playable, needs the unofficial patch to fix all the broken shit in the game.
What do you mean, unofficial patch?
Oh, the unofficial patch is a mod which fixes a bunch of bugs.
Alright, okay, so I forgot they'd enabled modding in that game, so it's a mod that just fixes everything that was broken.
Pretty much, yeah, and it's great, and that's what makes Skyrim so replayable, is that it's one of the only console games that added mods, which is awesome. But I don't know if you can count that towards the game itself. So I think my vote might be leaning towards Arkham City. It's a classic, one of the best representations of Batman, in my head, anyway.
Yeah,
and the Joker, probably my favourite Jokers from the Arkham series.
Yeah, the Arkham series is an amazing Joker. I never finished Arkham City. I actually sold Skyrim and Arkham City together. And I don't sell games or anything. I still have a bunch of VHS tapes. I just don't sell media. But I did sell Skyrim and Arkham City.
You're really just shitting on everything, aren't you?
What can I say, man? I'm very hard. It's very hard to get me to do things, and I actually went and sold those games. They just didn't speak to me. But I understand completely the iconic nature of both of them, and I also completely bow my head to the fact that I am in a minority of people that the games just didn't click for. Mm-hmm. I would never try and argue their nature is a very loved and respected franchise.
I guess an honourable mention would go to Deus Ex Human Revolution, which is a fan favourite of a lot of people, but I've never played it. Always meant to, never got around to it, but that's Adam Jets, and I never asked for this.
Yes,
all those lovely memes.
Yeah, I'm familiar with it.
And Uncharted 3, I know loads of people love the Uncharted series, but it's PlayStation exclusive, so we've never played it.
We've never played it. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen. We could maybe mention some PC games, definitely Xbox. Most PlayStation games we wouldn't even be able to reference.
Yep. Okay, so 2011, we've got L.A. Noire and Batman Arkham City.
They are both single-player driven games.
I'm comfortable with that, I think.
Are we going into 2012?
Yep. Okay.
Right, okie doke.
quick list of games which I don't think you've played. Diablo 3,
Not played.
XCOM Enemy Unknown,
Might have played a little bit of it.
Resident Evil 6,
Not played.
Kingdoms of Amalur Reckoning,
Not played.
Darksiders 2,
Not played.
Max Payne 3,
Not played.
Sleeping Dogs,
Not played. Wait, no, I've played. Didn't like it.
Dragon's Dogma,
Not played.
Journey,
Not played.
CSGO,
Yeah, for all intents and purposes, I've not played, but it's kind of a lie. I have played a little bit.
and Prototype 2.
Not played.
Okay, as expected. So, on this list we have Call of Duty Black Ops 2, or more colloquially known, Blops 2,
Blops 2, the great fan name.
Mass Effect 3,
Fair.
Assassin's Creed 3,
Fair.
Far Cry 3, which I've played but you haven't.
Everyone loves the Far Cry 3 games. You know, the meaning of insanity guy and all that.
Hitman Absolution, which I don't know if you've played, but I've played.
Is that the episodic one that was free recently?
No, that's Hitman, no subtitle.
Right, okay.
This is the one before that, which almost killed the franchise.
Ah, okay.
It's like a more cinematic game. It's the first Hitman game I ever played. I have slightly fond memories of it. I didn't love it. Anyway, moving on. Borderlands 2.
Definitely worthy.
Telltale's The Walking Dead.
Seriously, that came in 2012? My god, I feel old.
Yep. Have you played that? I've never played it.
No, I watched a bunch of Let's Plays back then for it, but I've not actually played it myself. But for
I would count that if you've watched the full game through, then
for
I would count that for it.
For Telltale games, a Let's Play is just as good as having played it.
Yes. Halo 4.
Of course.
I've included Fez, which is an indie game that was really famous, and I know you've never played.
I'm familiar with it, though. I'm very familiar with it.
And Pirate 101.
Oh, boy.
So right off the bat, if we're going by pure errors logged...
I would like to add a game.
Oh, have you got one?
I have a game. I know you've not played it.
Have I missed one?
Yeah. Slender, the 8 Pages.
Oh boy.
The classic horror game that really properly propelled Slender Man into memeing emo pop culture. For good, I would argue, until Five Nights at Freddy's, years later.
See, you're including that, but you're not going to pick that as your game.
Of course I'm not going to pick it for my game, but I would like to at least...
This one I don't know which you're going to pick, actually. I'm curious.
Right, so the obvious one would be Halo 4, but I think Halo 4 has aged so poorly, and even...
Halo 4, looking back, is easily the worst looking Halo game.
Right.
Easily.
Right, well, I was playing the Master Chief Collection last night, and Halo 4 came into the multiplayer rotation. I was playing it. It is so very clearly, it's Halo 5 with all the bugs not taken out yet, or all the imperfections. It's kind of it was the Halo that wanted to be more like Call of Duty with the custom classes and stuff.
Yep.
And it had sprint, but not unlimited sprint. So compared to Halo 5, I find myself like, because visually, I think
you're so sluggish. Yeah.
Visually, I think it looks almost indistinguishable from Halo 5. Sometimes you can trick yourself if you just saw a screenshot of Halo 4 without looking at maybe some of the little small details, you would probably at a glance forget what game it is. And it's very poor. I mean, I know me and some other people really defend the story of Halo 4, but
I'm not a defender of the story of Halo 4.
Yes, that is not what we're here to discuss. But yeah, Halo 4 has aged very badly from a mechanics point of view. So Halo 4...
Well, it's funny, because even though they were trying to be more like Call of Duty, they still didn't make the jump to give every gun a zoom feature.
Yeah,
which by that point in the series was almost ridiculous.
Yeah, see that when I played Halo 4 the other night, I had the shotgun, and I went to aim down sight with it, and I just ended up opening up my binoculars.
Yep.
And because the shotgun is the exact same in Halo 5, except it has ADS, and again, the game visually, the animation, it looks so similar from a multiplayer point of view that you will forget these things. You will think you're playing Halo 5 sometimes, except just some features aren't there, or you have a jetpack. It's such a bizarre game that was okay for the time. It was an evolution of Halo Reach, but with...
It was the first Halo game not made by Bungie.
It was the first Halo game not made by Bungie. So it was a product of its time, and I also think it should probably stay in 2012. It's not going to stand out in the decade. So this is
why I'm curious, because we've eliminated the obvious one for you. So
yeah,
taking into account the ones you've definitely played a lot of Black Ops 2.
I played a lot of Black Ops 2. It was my favourite Call of Duty game for a long time.
Definitely played Mass Effect 3.
Definitely played Mass Effect 3. Great story, great conclusion to a trilogy. So cinematic, could easily have been a
wow.
great film.
That's a fucking controversial take, that is.
I think everyone's absolutely bullshit crazy. I know that the endings at the end, the final decision you make, the 3 decisions, I get they're all very samey. But I'm not going to discount the entire game because of that.
See, I agree with your conclusion there that, like, all of the other stuff in the game, like the conclusion to the Krogan story, the conclusion to the Quarian story, all that stuff is fantastic. I can't discount the entire game because the last 5 minutes are subpar.
Also, the cinematics of the fleet arriving at Earth is still iconic.
Oh, it's iconic.
It's absolutely amazing with the Reaper fleet and the Alliance fleet, or not just the Alliance, but everyone. I think the Human Alliance name is a thing just for Earth is stupid because it gets really confusing. No, Mass Effect 3. I could choose it, and Blops. I love me some Blops too.
Assassin's Creed 3 you've played. I don't think it's one of your favourite Assassin's Creed games, though.
I like the era, but God, bloody Connor, man.
See, I like Connor. I've always liked Connor.
I know you and one other person I know really defend Connor, but that's because it was his first Assassin's Creed game. It's whatever. I can enjoy Assassin's Creed 3, but it won't get my vote. Oh god, what else came out in 2013?
Borderlands 2, 2012.
Right, 2012. I was so prepared. See, going into this before we started recording, I was so prepared to point out Borderlands 2 as a game of the decade for me, but then we ended up doing the listing a different way than what I'd expected. So, Borderlands 2. As Kyle will know, and some other people that may listen to this will know, I have a complicated relationship with Borderlands. Borderlands 2 is a really worthy game, and I feel like if I give it my vote, it'll be kind of half-heartedly. Like, I give it because it's the game I've definitely played the most of out of them. Well, not the most, sorry, it's not, that's a lie, that's a barefaced lie, I didn't mean to say that, I forgot all the other games all at once, I thought it and Mass Effect 3, because I think that's what it's going to come down to, because I want to give it to Black Ops 2, but for some reason I just can't.
Black Ops 2 has a story that's, I can't even remember, I think is the issue.
I remember the Black Ops 2 story really well. Because it kind of jumps back and forward from like the 70s to follow up from Black Ops 1, and then it jumps to 2025 where it's just like contemporary, and the people from the first Black Ops are all really old men, but the 70s flashbacks is to when they're a little bit younger, and it's the son of Mason that's in it, and I really enjoy it. And then there's like, I think there's a couple of things where you can kind of pick how the game ends a little bit, and it was the zombies. I enjoyed Transit for what it was. It was fun. I remember having a lot of hours out it.
No one ever played Transit, which is annoying because it was easily the most creative zombies map.
There was a couple of fun single player
They
maps.
added a bunch of them DLC though.
Yeah. So I don't know. And it had the zombies had the blue eyes in it, which everybody had been used to the orange eyes for so long, so the blue eyes was like a difference, and everyone was like, oh, they've got blue eyes now. And then they had Origins, the World War One, and the Alcatraz. Alcatraz was so fun. I actually found it a little bit scary. I still kind of gives me the creeps. I don't know. I want to give it a Black Ops 2. It was between that and Borderlands. It's gonna go to Black Ops 2. Okay, Black Ops 2 gets my vote.
Okay, so you're discounting The Walking Dead and Pirate 101.
You know what, Kyle? Tough choices had to be made.
See, The Walking Dead, I've never played it, but obviously it's probably the most iconic Telltale game.
Yes.
But I've never played it because zombies, and I don't like zombies.
Yes, that is also true.
Here's my problem. If we're going by hours alone, Pirate 101 is easily skyrocketing above every other game. Which is fun, because a lot of people listening to this Probably never even heard of it.
Yeah, definitely. But no one's heard of it apart from the two of us and people that definitely will never listen to this. I don't know how you forgot all about Angry Birds Star Wars, by the way, Kevin.
You know what? I saw that when I was making lists, and I opted not to include it. So.
Yeah. So I don't really know how you're going to list this. To be honest with you.
No, because I assume before you were considering other things, you thought Borderlands 2 was a given for me.
I don't know. I guess so. I would. Okay, yeah. I can see why you would think I would think that.
Here's the thing. This list in particular includes 3 of my top games of all time, which is Borderlands 2, Mass Effect 3, and Pirate 101, which is very awkward.
Yeah, you're having a difficult time here. Even I had a small bit of a struggle, but I think we can definitely discount it's not going to be Halo 4.
No, it's not going to be Halo 4. You know what? I'm gonna be super contrarian, and I'm gonna go Pirate 101.
Jeez, oh God. I mean, fine, it's not going to stand up to Blops 2, so sure.
See, you have memories of Blops 2. I really don't, actually. I know that I must have sank at least 100 hours into it, and I have no fond memories of it.
Oh, I had great times in Blops 2. Then again, a lot of it is just kind of... I can't actually...
Blops 2 is... No, I've played COD games after that, never mind. Yeah. It's the last one that I've definitely sunk a lot of time into, though.
It's the last one I think we universally enjoyed. Mm-hmm. We've comments on the story of some of the subsequent ones, but the multiplayer was trash, so we can just discount them.
I'm gonna end this with a call to action, which is, for the love of God, everyone play Pirate 101. It's great.
Listen to him, please, or else you'll get me to play it again.
Okay, so we're ending 2012 with Blops 2 and Pirate 101. You know what? I have to disagree with your choice on this one. I think you should have gone with Mass Effect 3.
Oh. I did give a stirring spiel about why I like Mass Effect 3, but I spent more hours on Blops 2.
Okay, well, we're moving on to 2013 then.
Yes, we are. In 2013.
Let's go through the list. BioShock Infinite.
I never played it.
Obviously loved by many people, though.
Yeah, loved by many people. I think that was the first BioShock game to release when I was conscious of it.
Mm-hmm. I don't think it's as popular as the first game, but it is like a big, well-known one.
Yeah.
Battlefield 4, completely forgettable. That game came out.
that game came out. That's about as much as anyone can say about it.
Metal Gear Rising.
I'm surprised you're not doing this in alphabetical order.
I'm just doing it in any order that I found them. Don't worry about it. Dota 2, one of the biggest games of all time, and neither of us have ever played it.
Neither of us have ever played it.
Aliens Colonial Marines, one of the most legendarily bad games of all time.
Yeah, you know what, though? I was going to get it. I didn't, but I was going to get it because I really enjoyed the Alien vs Predator game where there's like 3 different campaigns. There's like a human one, alien one, and a predator one.
But this one's crap.
But this one's crap.
Crisis 3.
Never played it.
Pokemon X and Y.
Never played them.
Devil May Cry.
Sorry.
Payday 2.
Sorry.
Warframe.
Sorry.
Dead Rising 3.
Don't think I played it.
So just to point out, this is an interesting era. 2013, that's the year the Xbox One came out.
Yes, it is the year the Xbox One came out.
So we've got a bunch of really shit launch titles. Well, one in particular that I'm thinking of, which you've played and I've not. But let's go. So, Assassin's Creed 4, Black Flag.
Before we proceed, we've missed these games. I don't think that any of them would have gotten either of our votes, but I really want to pay tribute to them because they're great games.
Okay.
The Transformers War for Cybertron series.
Never played it.
Right. I played War for Cyber. That was 2010 was the first one. The sequel was 2012, and then there was a third one that came out just to line up with Age of Extinction, and it was like a mixture between the cartoon Transformers and the Michael Bay Transformers, and they like cross over. It's like a universe clash.
Okay.
And the first two were pretty decent. The third one was and it was also the only one that ever made the leap to next gen. I think it was like one of those cross games where it was in 360 and Xbox One. And I just wanted to mention them because I had good fond memories of those games. They were very solid. You had the Decepticon campaign and an Autobot campaign. They were very, very fun. And good multiplayer.
Never played them, so I can't comment.
I wanted to at least reference them. Anyway, continue with your list.
Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
Of course.
Legendary.
Legendary.
Grand Theft Auto 5.
Yeah, of course.
Call of Duty Ghosts.
Sure.
Tomb Raider 2013.
Oh, very, very much so.
Saints Row 4.
Sigh.
Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Dual Destinies.
Well, that's got your vote.
I know you're not gonna. You've never played it and never will, but I love the Ace Attorney series, and I included it.
I know you did.
This might be one. I know you've never played it, but I'm sure you are familiar with it. The Last of Us.
Of course, I actually have played The Last of Us.
You have?
I have.
How?
At a friend's house.
Oh. Batman Arkham Origins, which is the crap one.
Yes, I'm aware that after City there's like 2 more games and one's controversial and one's okay.
The Wolf Among Us. Telltales.
Yes, not played
Among
it.
Us.
Not played it. I know.
You've not played it?
I know people like it.
I thought you had played that one.
No, I haven't played it. I know people like it though.
Gone Home. Classic lesbian walking simulator.
Yes, I have not played it, for I'm not a lesbian, nor can I walk, but I am a simulator.
Dead Space 3, which I guess you haven't played.
I played the demo.
I thought you had.
I played the demo.
Another one that you might be familiar with, Injustice Gods Among Us.
My favourite Elseworlds DC story.
And legendary Rise, Son of Rome.
Rise, Son of Rome. That game that only me and you remember, though we never played it.
You never played Rise? I thought you were one of the people on the planet who'd played Rise, Son of Rome.
No, but I always reference it a lot because I remember watching the E3 demo for it because there was so few launch titles and being like, God, this game's going to get buried when more titles come out. No one will remember it ever. I think one person we know played it.
It's the epitome of crap launch titles. It really is.
I don't even think it was bad. I can't remember it really, but I don't think it was ever actually.
It was one of those games where they heavily were like leaning on Kinect stuff.
Oh yeah.
When they still thought the Kinect was going to be a thing, and it was like you can play this whole game with Kinect's functionality.
You never need to use your controller. Yeah. Yep. Okay. You know what? It got 9 out of 10 on Steam. It got 60% on Metacritic and 6.8 out of 10 on IGN. Apparently it was pretty decent. I always remember there was like a Lord of the Rings Easter egg on it with like the Ship of the Dead. So yeah, I don't know. It's got its fans. I can't say much about it. It came and it went, and it's not left much of a mark on anyone.
So here's our big contenders then. I assume you're okay with eliminating Ghosts. It's one of the most forgettable Call of Duty games.
Yeah, its story was okay, but it's very forgettable.
Here's my big contenders. Black Flag, obviously. GTA 5.
What did we do if we both vote for the same game?
I mean, it's fine. We're allowed to do that.
Okay. We don't have any cheerful music to play over or horns or anything.
I can add that in if you want.
Please do.
I don't think it's going to happen this year.
May not happen. May not happen this decade, but you know.
So, Tomb Raider 2013. Love that game.
Great game. The only one of the trilogy I've played, but you know.
Yep. Last of Us, I've never played it, but obviously one of the big legendary games.
Yes.
And I wanted to include The Wolf Among Us, but it's not going to win, so.
Oh, but remember that game Don't Starve?
Did that come out in 2013?
Yes, it did.
Never played it, so.
I watched a lot of Let's Plays, but I never played it either.
So, I'm not including Saints Row 4 for obvious reasons. It's fine. It's a fun game. but it's stupid and dumb, and I don't like it that much.
Yeah, see, I only feel like that the year 2013, I feel like I've only got 3 games I could reasonably give it to.
That 3's a lot.
Yeah, 3 is a lot.
There are 3 very strong contenders.
Wait, sorry, maybe 4.
What's your 4th? Oh, Tomb Raider?
Yeah.
I'm going to, for my personal list, obviously The Last of Us, because I haven't played it, and I'm going to eliminate GTA 5, which may shock you.
Oh yeah, because that's on my list.
GTA 5 hasn't had much sticking power with me.
I still find myself
Which is
going
crazy.
back to it.
Which is crazy, because everyone else on the entire planet plays it, but I don't know. This is just me personally. As I don't know if we discussed it on the podcast, but I'm not a big fan of playing villains.
Yeah,
or watching villains.
I think we have discussed that before. But yeah, no, I get where you're
And that's obviously the whole point of the GTA story.
Yeah, getting on a screen front bus and going into first person mode and running civilians over on the beach.
Yeah, it doesn't have grabbing power to like cause chaos.
Yes.
It's not what I'm into, which is why GTA doesn't have the same sort of
I'm sure
appeal to me as the Red Dead
I'm sure
series
we
does.
sunk a lot of hours into GTA 4.
We did sink a lot of hours into GTA 4, but that's
GTA 5 was a new era.
Yes.
So what is actually on your like consideration list of what games would you actually think about giving it to?
It's right now. It's between Black Flag and Tomb Raider.
Right, both of them are on my 4 list. What are you gonna do, Kyle?
I think I have to give it to Black Flag.
Oh! I didn't think that was coming. Woo!
You didn't?
I didn't. I thought you were gonna go Tomb Raider.
Tomb Raider 2013 is a great game.
It is a great game.
Love it. It's not my favourite in the franchise, though.
Yeah, but we're in the year 2013, man. Those games don't exist yet.
Black Flag is such a... It's basically one of the only single-player games I could see myself going back to, because it's just so relaxing to just sail around the Caribbean.
I associate Black Flag with 2014. I don't know why. Is that the year the remaster came out?
I don't think it got a remaster.
Not the remaster.
Black Flag was one of those games in the in-between era that got launched on both consoles.
Both, yeah. So I bought it on 360, then it was free in 2014 or 2015 or something on Xbox.
Yeah, it came out with Games with Gold at one point, I think.
So I have it on both platforms. Right, so on my and the only 4 ones I'm considering, can you guess them?
Black Flag, GTA 5, Tomb Raider, and The Last of Us.
No, not The Last of Us.
Really?
No, yeah, really.
Injustice? Are you including Injustice?
I am.
That's crazy.
I'm not a big fighting game person, and I know that's really like weird for me to basically discount all the game mechanics immediately. Like, I get that. It's weird that I would just pretend that it's not a fighting game and focus so much on the story. But the story of Injustice, Gods Among Us, the first and the second one, they're both very good. It's amazing. It's so good. It's great writing, it's great acting, there's great action, the character interactions of what's happening, who's killing who, the teams, the way they've split apart. It really is a Civil War type story, but it's also a bit twisted because, some people are actually villains. Yeah, it's such a great game. I know it's on my list, but I don't think I'm going to give it the vote, but my God, it had to be on one of the contender shortlists because it's so good. It really is such a good story.
I'm shocked that The Last of Us isn't on your list. I thought you loved that game.
I do love The Last of Us, but I've kind of run out of steam on it, to be honest, and I don't care about The Last of Us 2 at all.
Really? That's shocking.
Yeah, I don't know. In 2013 it came out, and I loved it. It was such a good game. It was the first game that PlayStation ever got that made me jealous. I didn't have a PlayStation.
God knows, there's been a few of those now.
Yeah, it's been a long generation, but I honestly I didn't care. It's been too long now. If a sequel came out in 2016, maybe it would have got my excitement. But is it out yet, or is it 2020? It's coming out.
It's coming out next year.
Yeah, 2020, man. That's an entire generation that they waited. I don't care anymore. So, The Last of Us didn't make it. because I've ran out of excitement for it. Justice Gods Among Us deserves its spot in my honourable mentions, but I can't give it. Sorry. GTA. Grand Theft Auto, man. Yeah, I'd love that game. But I didn't dedicate enough hours into it, and there's too much stuff to do in it, and it's just a good game, but I didn't get in it either. I'm sorry. I could spend a lot of time speaking about my issues with Grand Theft Auto 5.
So now you're down to the same two as me.
Yeah. And Tomb Raider ain't getting it, so we have a 1-for-1. It's Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag.
Air horns.
Tomb Raider's great. I ended up not playing the sequels, not because I didn't want to, just they're on Game Pass. I have Game Pass. I could play them. I don't know why I haven't. Maybe one day I will. But Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, it's my favourite Assassin's Creed game. It's just Assassin's Creedy enough to still be Assassin's Creedy in my opinion.
But it's also a great pirate game.
It's also a great pirate
game. Probably the best pirate game.
Yeah, so much better than Pirate 101.
You know what? The only other console comparison it has is Sea of Thieves, so it doesn't have a lot of competition.
It doesn't have a lot of competition. So
one day Skull and Bones will come out. One day
Skull and Bones will come out. But it is not this day.
Nope.
So yeah, it's just the sea shanties, the sailing the seven seas, the legendary ships you've got to take out in the four corners of the map, and you've got to upgrade your ship to take them on, because my god, if you don't, it's hard. There's the forts you've got to try and destroy to get access to ports. The Spanish galleons, the Royal Navy, you can get other pirate ships involved. It's so fun. So fun, you can send them off on scouting missions. And the story with the Kenway. Edward Kenway.
The Kenway.
The Kenway. He's the Kenway. Everyone loves Hatham. I love Hatham. But Edward, man. You know, he started off the Kenway, even though he was the last one, he started off the Kenway the trilogy of characters, even though Hatham never had his own game. But, you know, he was so good. He showed up in 3, Rogue, and he had a wee cameo, I guess, in 4
as a babby.
As a child. So, yeah, that's what Assassin's Creed 4 gets it. Add horns into this segment, and we can hopefully move on to 2000. Wait.
Well,
Honourable
okay.
mention, because I wasn't going to let it slide. I remembered it all through 2012 and completely forgot it when we were actually on 2013. Titanfall.
I've got Titanfall in 2014.
It's a 2013 launch title.
Is it?
Yeah.
I thought didn't it come out early 2014? Because Titanfall's another one of those both consoles games.
That's a both. I'm sure it was 2013.
The ones I found it on were 2014. You know what? We've already done our 20. It's not going to be Assassin's Creed, so let's just include it in the 2014 list.
Okay, I'm sure it's 2013 game though. I've got it here in 2014 as well on Google. What is happening?
You're trying to gaslight me.
I'm
Gosh.
trying to gaslight you, apparently. I could swear blind this game came out in 2013. March 11th, 2014. That's wild.
Okay, so 2014 then. Go through the list of games which I don't think you've played.
Right.
Far Cry 4.
No, I haven't played it.
The Evil Within.
Didn't play it.
Wolfenstein: The New Order.
I was going to play it, but didn't play it.
Infamous Second Son.
Didn't play it.
South Park: The Stick of Truth.
Didn't play it.
You might have actually played this one, but you're not going to include it on your list. Five Nights at Freddy's.
I have played it. Why would I not include it on my list?
Because it's shite, that's why.
How dare you. The VR one just came out.
Here's what I'll give Five Nights at Freddy's for. It gave a lot of YouTubers careers.
It gave a lot of YouTubers careers. It did that.
Dark Souls 2.
Didn't play it.
The Sims 4.
You know what, Kyle? I didn't play it.
No. Bayonetta 2.
Didn't play it.
Five Nights at Freddy's 2.
I played it.
Murdered Soul Suspect.
I did play that.
You did?
I did.
I didn't think anyone had played that.
Well, let me check it's the same game we're both thinking of.
It's the one where you get shot and you have to investigate your own murder.
And you're like a detective.
Yeah.
Hold on. Yeah, I did play it. I played quite a bit of it. I don't know if I finished it, but I definitely made it at least halfway through. That was fun.
I don't think it's going to be on your list, though.
Nah. Five Nights at Freddy's has got a better chance.
Little Big Planet 3.
Nah.
Okay, so the list of games that we've both played on this one is probably the longest on the thing.
Right.
Well, not both of us, but one or two of us. So, Dragon Age Inquisition.
Nah.
Played it very recently. Loved it.
Yes, I know.
This one might be a contender for you, might not. Don't know. Destiny.
Oh, I would have. Destiny would have slipped by me. Oh. Right, okay, we'll get back to it.
Shadow of Mordor.
Yeah, I enjoyed it.
Alien Isolation. I don't know if you played this one or not. I thought you might have.
I've watched enough Let's Plays to feel like I've played it, but I didn't play it.
Call of Duty Advanced Warfare.
Woo! Kevin Spacey, the video game.
Yep.
Press F to pay respects. That came in that game.
Watch Dogs.
I've played Watch Dogs.
I've not played Watch Dogs.
I've played Watch Dogs. It's fun. There's little kind of... The Easter eggs to Assassin's Creed gave me more of a tickle than the actual game did.
Titanfall, as previously discussed.
I swear to God that was a 2013 game, but it was 2014, okay.
Assassin's Creed Unity.
Oh boy.
Opinions.
Yeah.
Child of Light, which I know you haven't played, but it's a smaller arcadey type game, which I absolutely loved.
Right.
Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare.
No, I played the second
Game
one.
that shouldn't... No, the first one. Game that shouldn't work, but it does, and it's great.
Yeah, I played the mobile versions of the game, and I played the second one. I haven't played the first.
Borderlands, the pre-sequel.
Of course.
A game which most people don't like, but I like for some reason.
I like it.
It's too short, but I really like it. Tales from the Borderlands. Awesome. Love it.
That came out in the same year as Borderlands the pre-sequel?
Yes, so here's the thing. I've counted it as a 2014 release, even though it's episodic and the majority of it came out in 2015.
Ah, right, okay. That's fine. That makes sense, okay.
But the first episode launched late 2014, so I'm including it as a 2014 release.
Yeah, okay, that makes sense.
Another Assassin's Creed Rogue.
Oh boy.
I don't think this is true, but it's where I found it. Smite.
I mean, I don't have much of an opinion on Smite. If it did come out in 2014 or if it came out in 2012, for the sake of discussion, I wouldn't have been able to give it a vote.
I've sunk countless hours into Smite, so I had to include it somewhere.
Yep.
Another one of those forgotten launch titles, Sunset Overdrive.
How dare you forget Sunset Overdrive? I sunk a lot of hours into that game.
Did you really? I didn't think you'd played Sunset Overdrive.
It was Games with Gold. It was free. I played quite a bit of it. It was fun.
Okay.
Never finished it, but it was fun.
I've included this one, even though I don't think it should count. Halo Master Chief Collection.
Of course it should count. Halo 2 Anniversary.
It's not a new game, though.
It's a new package.
Also, including the fact that all the way throughout 2014, 15, and 16, MCC was a broken mess.
Oh well, it counts.
Telltale's Game of Thrones.
That was a fun game.
And one that I've included just for the rivalry between us, Trials Fusion.
Yeah.
So this one is the longest list on the whole thing.
Trials
games that we've played.
Fusion, of course, that gets my vote. Oh boy, Trials Fusion. We could spend a lot of time talking about that. Me and Kyle had a hell of a rivalry through that game. Always beating each other by a couple of milliseconds here or there. Sometimes he would just beat a map and I had to concede it. I would beat a map and he would have to concede it. But we spent a long time trying to win that game.
I've never looked back to see who I actually won.
Neither did I. I think we kind of left it where I won some maps and you won some maps.
Well, you were never actually good enough to get onto the difficult maps, so...
Whoa.
I'm throwing shade. I'm doing it.
Shade, jeez, oh. We need to turn my lamp off, man. Oh, my God. Right, Right, okay, well, I'm just going to let that comment sit there because I can't remember enough about Trials to remember them getting harder.
Here's what I want to say, because I know that Destiny's going to be up there for you. I've included Destiny the Taken King as a separate game in 2015.
Why?
Because it's completely fixed the game as far as most people are concerned.
It did, but then you would you could include the Halo 3 ODST as a completely different game for the MCC in 2015 because it was supposedly a big fix for a lot of MCC's issues.
So you don't think I should do that then?
No, I get why you're doing it, but I think it's a messy precedent that could leak in later on, and I think 2014 it's a nice bundle because I have a complicated relationship.
The reason I did that is because Destiny at launch was terrible.
Destiny at launch was terrible. You see, it's funny, man, because Destiny, I played it and I finished it, and I didn't know I'd finished it, and you and some other people still kind of hung around a little while, and I left. I was out of there. I was so excited that this was Bungie's next game after Halo Reach, and it was whatever, and I left it, and then I came back to it for various reasons. I played the shit out of Destiny from round about the House of Wolves DLC, because that was the 2 mini DLCs. It was the Dark Below and the House of Wolves, and then next year Taken King. But the 2 mini DLCs, Dark Below and House of Wolves, I came back a little bit for Dark Below, but kind of came and went within a couple of days. I didn't really care. Then I came back for House of Wolves, and for various people I was playing with at the time, I stuck around, and I got literally claws in it. I was there from House of Wolves through the Taken King. Then I was there Rise of Iron in I think early 2016. And that was just me, man. I was in Destiny. I played it weekly. I did all the raids, all the strikes. I had all my characters leveled up, or I had one character that was maxed out and everything. And a couple of other characters. See, because I have so many complicated thoughts about Destiny. I don't want to give it the vote, but I feel like 2014, I love Titanfall, but there's so many hours sunk into Destiny, man. Not even in the calendar year of 2014, I might add. I sunk so many hours into that game that I feel like I need to give it.
See, the other games that you've sunk hours into are... You've played Shadow of Mordor, right? You're a Lord of the Rings fan.
Big Lord of the Rings fan. Never finished it.
No, okay. Titanfall, obviously. Titanfall I have memories of, but because it's a multiplayer only game, it kind of comes and goes. I don't know.
I'm a big fan of Titanfall. I really, really defend it. And a lot of its ups and its downs. And I quite like, there was like a story being told in the multiplayer if you played it a certain way, and you were just a soldier on the ground, and you had like little visual HUD things of other characters talking, and there was gaps, and you were like missing out in some of the finer details, but it was very deliberate. It wasn't an accident you were missing out on those details. It was like a story was progressing behind the scenes, and you were just seeing bits of it. I don't know why. Lots of different script and story structures should tell you in Writing 101 that is bad for your audience. You shouldn't do that to them. I don't know why. I really enjoyed it, and it was great, and I had great fun. Titanfall, very fast-paced combat. It was what Call of Duty then became, but I didn't want that in Call of Duty, so I disliked it, but I loved it in Titanfall.
Did you play Advanced Warfare? Press F to pay respects.
Yeah,
I've never played it.
Yeah, I played it. I own it. It was the last Call of Duty game I bought until COD World War 2 and then Modern Warfare. So, yeah, I kind of didn't really have high thoughts or expectations for Titanfall, but it was a great game, and I defend it to this day. I thought they were a bit late on the sequel. I think maybe the sequel should have came out a little bit earlier, but I have since got the sequel. Someone gave it to me as a present, and it had a single player campaign, which I actually finished only a couple of weeks ago, and the single player campaign is actually really good, very fun.
So I've heard.
Mechanics, but again,
we'll get to Titanfall 2. Don't worry.
Okay, we'll get to Titanfall 2. And I just Titanfall. Sorry, buddy. I'm gonna give it Destiny, but it's a very big debate could be had if someone wants to fight me on it. But I think I'm gonna give it to Destiny.
You mean you're not gonna give it to Assassin's Creed Unity?
Do you know what, Kale? I'm not. I'm gonna have to skip Assassin's Creed Unity. fun era, but oh, the mechanics.
My opinions of Assassin's Creed Unity are very public.
Yes, you have a whole video on it.
Well, I have a whole video on the series, which I ranked, and Assassin's Creed Unity is my least favourite Assassin's Creed game of all of them, including Chronicles.
Don't you have a pretty big section on it, though?
I do, yeah. Assassin's Creed Rogue, I really like, but it's about 6 to 10 hours too short. It feels like half the game is missing.
Yeah, see, that's my issue with Rogue. It's like Assassin's Creed 4 with a couple of, not even refinements, just tweaks on it. But it's smaller. And it was like, it was the 360 answer for people that didn't have an Xbox One yet, because I don't think they had it on Xbox One, and Unity was on 360. It was
a weird way to do it. Like, they didn't just do Unity on both consoles. They were like, let's make 2 separate games.
Yeah. I don't know. I liked Rogue, but I liked it in such an arm's length view, because 4 was so good, and this was like, if 4 had been worse, this is what Rogue would have been, or what Rogue was. And in Unity, obviously, was the main flagship one that was just, yeah, it's what it is, man. I don't think anyone would give Rogue its vote for best game of that year.
No. Tales from the Borderlands is a strong contender for me. It took me years to get you to play it, and when you did, you finally liked it.
Did it take you that long?
Yes, you didn't play it till like last year.
I played the first episode way back when it first came out through someone else. And then I think it was before the second episode had released. In between that period, I just kind of fell away from it. And then eventually you got me to come back to it. And that was when everything was out, so I sat and played it. And it was great. But I had played the first episode way back when it first came out.
It's not making your list, though.
It's not making my list.
This is a difficult one for me, because I only played Dragon Age Inquisition like last month. So it's very fresh in my head. It's basically a new game for me.
I don't know much about the Dragon Age games, so I can't give much of a comment.
Okay, I love Dragon Age Inquisition. It's not as good as the first game. The first game's obviously the best, but it's really damn good. Titanfall, I got into Titanfall late. I was one of the last people in our group who actually got Titanfall. Yes, so I kind of joined Titanfall on the tail end of its popularity.
Yeah, that's true, because it came out in March 2014, apparently, though I'm convinced it's a 2013 title. And you then, you must have got it probably around about October time.
Mm-hmm. Tales from the Borderlands. I can't give it to. It has too many issues. I love it. It's probably the best game for Borderlands as far as if you like the lore side of Borderlands. But
it's some great music.
It has my favourite soundtrack of the game, of all the series. But no, the setting of the game, super, super boring. It's just a whole bunch of moon rocks, which just, and it's very Australian, which is fine. Got no problem with Australians, but there's a lot of jokes in it, which I didn't realise are like really subtle Australian humour references, which just go completely over my head.
I think they would have went completely over my head as well. I don't remember much about it.
Smite, despite having played like 250 hours of Smite, I'm not a huge fan.
But you somehow still sunk all those hours into it.
Yep. Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare. The second one's better, so.
Right, so you're going to save that vote for later.
Yep. Even though I just played it, I think my vote's going to Dragon Age Inquisition.
Ooh. God, that game really helped out this year for you, didn't it?
It did.
If you hadn't played that game so recently, you might have been struggling.
Honestly, just on a visual level, 2014 is kind of the point where I'd say graphics have kind of plateaued in games.
Yeah, that was
like there is some improvements, but I played Dragon Age Inquisition a month ago and I didn't realise it came out this long ago.
That was the last game you played where you were like, wow, look at those graphics.
I looked at it and it's like, this looks like a modern game. Yeah. So, it was impressive. Okay,
I will say, we'll get on to, I think, 2019 at the end, but there's a couple of games this year I think have really stepped up a little bit.
Okay, so Dragon Age Inquisition and Destiny.
Dragon Age Inquisition and Destiny for the year 2014.
2015. This one's going to be a right meme. So, The Witcher 3, everyone's best game of all time, and neither of us have played it.
Yeah, that's quite tragic, isn't it?
This year is full of big games we've never played.
The year 2015.
Yeah. Well, not that much, but the next one is also a big one that everyone's played. Is Bloodborne.
So I thought it meant Battleborn. Yeah, Bloodborne. I never played it, but I'm familiar with the title.
Just Cause 3.
Never played it.
Dying Light.
Never played it.
Mortal Kombat 10.
Never played it. Though I almost did buy it, and I almost bought its limited condition custom built Xbox One controller for it as well.
Why?
I think I had...
established, you're not a fighting game fan.
It was like... It was the first time in my life where I had like income, like that was my own, and I was just... I wanted to buy it, and I'll get it, and I'll buy the custom controller as well, and me and some friends will actually sit and properly tear into it, and then me and all my friends that were going to buy it at the time, we all cancelled their pre-orders. No one bought it.
Battlefield Hardline. You know what's crazy to me? The Battlefield franchise has a launch title every year, and who buys them? I don't know anyone who plays Battlefield.
I remember Hardline coming out, and I remember it kind of being more of it wasn't so Battlefieldy, because the Hardline, it had more in line with like a Payday type game or a Rainbow Six Siege. It was more casual.
Yeah,
it wasn't
like
military.
Cops versus Crooks.
Yeah. I played the beta. I remember playing the beta, and I never bought the game. So it was an okay. It was like an iPhone 5C. It's a small upgrade, but it's not the next flagship model.
Yep. Okay. Rainbow Six Siege.
Oh, speak of the devil.
I assume you haven't played it. I've not played it.
I've not played it.
Super Mario Maker.
I didn't play it.
Minecraft Story Mode starring Patton Oswalt.
Unfortunately, I didn't play it.
Life is Strange.
Missed it.
A Mad Max game came out, which I think was a big deal. I sort of tie in with the movie.
Yeah, I'm looking at the box art for it right now. I find it vaguely familiar as well. You see it in a lot of second-hand stores.
Yeah. Until Dawn. That's the game where you play a horror movie.
Yes.
It was a PlayStation exclusive.
I'm familiar with its name.
I watched the Achievement Hunter Let's Play of that. So that's my only experience with it.
Right.
And then Indie Darling, which I've always meant to play but haven't. Ori and the Blind Forest.
Yes, I'm vaguely familiar with that as a name, but again, it's never ever jumped out at me as a thing I should play.
Okay, this one I think is going to be your lowest list for games played.
Hold on, Kyle. I have some games as well to add to that. Just Dance 2016.
Okay, sure.
Guitar Hero Live.
Mm-hmm. Is that genre dead now?
The kind of rock band type games.
Yeah, I've not seen one of those come out in ages.
Well, I'll tell you what, I had Guitar Hero 3 Legends of Rock for the Wii back in the noughties. And, see, it's funny. And then...
Well, no, I had Lego Rock Band, I had Beatles Rock Bands, I had Guitar Hero. The family got into it for a while, but it just doesn't have sticking power.
So did various extended members of my family too, and then I kind of didn't care, and then Guitar Hero Live looked so good. I don't know why. That time in my life, for some reason, it looked great, and I bought it. I have Guitar Hero Live sitting in that corner. It looks so good. It was quite fun, actually. I think they stopped supporting it, no surprise. But I had fun with that game. And then also, how dare you forget the all-time classic, Rocket League.
How could I forget Rothblock? That's a fair one to actually include.
Yes, of course.
I never played it, but it is obviously beloved by many people.
Beloved by many people, though. We've never played it, and I assume the list
Nope.
you're about to move on to is going to be titles that we've either one of us or both played.
Yes, so starting with Batman Arkham Knight.
Right, okay. Not played it.
Star Wars Battlefront 2015.
Played the beta, had intentions to buy it, and never did.
Evolve.
I think we know people that have played it, but I never did.
No, it's one of those games that it was such a great concept and then poor execution as far as I'm aware. Halo 5 Guardians.
Yeah.
Fallout 4.
Of course.
Rise of the Tomb Raider.
Of course.
Assassin's Creed Syndicate.
Yep.
Call of Duty Black Ops 3.
Yeah, of course.
And this is where I had Destiny Taken King, but I'm not going to allow you to vote it twice.
No, I wouldn't want you to include that again.
Okay, so this is a much shorter list than last time. Let's eliminate Halo 5, because I know you don't like Halo 5.
Hey, how dare you? I was actually considering it.
Were you really? That shocks me.
Kyle, I'll be honest with you, buddy. There's not much on this list for this year. 2015 was a dead year for me in games.
You spent the whole year playing Destiny.
I spent the whole year playing Destiny. It's, I never played Tomb Raider, but I wanted to. Assassin's Creed Syndicate, I never played on that calendar year. I played it in 2018, 2017. I even played it earlier this year. It was a good game. It was Unity with all the bugs fixed, but in a less interesting setting.
I guess the French Revolution is more interesting.
Victorian London isn't bad, but relative to revolutionary Paris, it's not as good. So yeah, I mean, I think I'm just going to cut to the chase here. I'm looking at these games. I'm gonna have to give it Halo 5, but it's
a begrudging.
It's a begrudging. I don't dislike Halo 5. I know the story's a contentious point, but the multiplayer is solid. I still think Halo 5's multiplayer is great. But we could spend a long time talking about the story. We're not going to do that. But yeah, Halo 5 is going to get my vote, but it's not because the competition was steep.
Okay, so my main contenders here are probably Rise of the Tomb Raider, Fallout 4, and Arkham Knight.
Okay.
I really like Arkham Knight, but it has issues, mainly that you spend like half the game in the Batmobile, and the Batmobile's kind of boring.
Yeah, I remember that being a thing about that game that a lot of people spoke about.
Fallout 4. It was my first Fallout game. I enjoyed it well enough, but it's got a lot of issues, which I can't ignore. So I think I'm giving it to Rise of the Tomb Raider. It's my favourite game in that series. It's awesome. I still think if you should play it to this day.
I will play the other two entries to that Tomb Raider trilogy eventually.
I would prioritise playing Rise. Shadow is not nearly as good as Rise.
Well, I'm going to play it in order.
Fair enough. Syndicate, one of my top Assassin's Creed games based on the story. Really like the story of Syndicate, but
Jacob and Evie are iconic.
They are. But gameplay-wise, it's just kind of boring, honestly, of all the Assassin's Creed games.
It's a safe sequel to a broken Unity.
It's the kind of game that they needed to make to keep the franchise alive.
Yeah, like it sustained it, but it was hardly something that they were putting their heart and soul into.
Right. So I'm comfortable saying Rise of the Tomb Raider for 2015.
Okay, that's a pretty quick
Not a
year.
very contentious year for the two of us.
For neither of us, yeah. That year, 2015, from a game point of view, just kind of came and went.
Okay, 2016 for games neither of us have played. Telltale's Batman.
Okay.
Doom 2016.
I don't know if I played that.
I've been meaning to play it. It's on my list of games to play.
Right.
Uncharted 4.
Of course, we've not played it.
Dark Souls 3.
Not played.
Confusingly titled Battlefield 1.
Yes, that and it had the White Stripes music in the trailer. Yeah, no,
Yeah.
didn't play it. I own it though. I do own it.
I also own it. It came out with Games with Gold.
Precisely why we both own
it. Final Fantasy 15.
No, didn't play it.
XCOM 2.
Didn't play it.
Darkest Dungeon.
Nope, didn't play it.
Dishonored 2.
Didn't play it.
The Last Guardian.
Didn't play it.
Watch Dogs 2.
Don't know if I played it.
Dead Rising 4.
Didn't play it.
And Deus Ex Mankind Divided.
Didn't play it.
Didn't think so. Okay, so list of games we have played. So, Overwatch.
I've played bits of it, but you have sunk many hours into it.
Okay, this one you might have heard of, might not have, but it's for some reason one of the most critically acclaimed games of all time. Inside.
I don't even know if I've heard of it.
Nope. So it's by the same people who made Limbo.
Yeah, I could guess.
Where you play as a boy and you walk through a strange facility.
Oh,
for some
shit! I do know what game that is. Sorry, I don't need you to explain it. I've seen the trailer.
For some reason, this game is beloved by every critic in the universe, and I don't get it.
Limbo, Inside, and Journey. Three games that a lot of kind of artsy game critics absolutely love, and maybe they are great games. I've seen bits of gameplay and trailers and stuff, and they look interesting, but they stick with people, and I don't really know why.
No, me neither. So then there's two games that I've played, but you won't have. One of them is Oxenfree.
I have played.
Which is another one of those arts games, which I kind of liked, but it's not on my list, really. And the other one is The Witness, which I'm only including because I fucking hate it.
Well, I know what I'm voting for.
Titanfall 2.
Yeah.
No, I haven't played it. I know you have. Call of Duty Infinite Warfare with Jon Snow.
With Jon Snow, the most disliked video game trailer on YouTube.
Yep. Gears of War 4.
Yes, I played it.
ReCore.
You played it.
I played it, made a video on it.
Yep. Click the link.
Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice.
Of course I've not played it.
You're gonna like this next one. Firewatch.
I was looking at the list, I was wondering if you were going to bring it up. But yeah, great game.
This one might be a big one. Pokemon Go.
Yeah, I have some fun memories of that game.
Plants vs. Zombies Garden Warfare 2.
I played it.
Hitman No Subtitle.
I've played it.
Battleborn.
Woo!
And I think you've played this one, Quantum Break.
Yes, I played it.
The one where they tried to make it line up with a TV show.
Yes, I didn't know it was trying to line up with a TV show, but I remember the game had the Frosty Kid from X-Men in it.
It did have the Frosty Kid from X-Men in it.
Yeah.
So what I'm noticing about this one, a lot of strong multiplayer titles.
Yeah, it was a year for the social people.
I think you might be a wild card here and vote for Firewatch.
So I enjoyed Firewatch when it first came out. I didn't play it, but it's one of those games where a Let's Play will do, and I played it in between our last episode and this episode. Firewatch is a bloody brilliant game. It's really, really good. It's got a story that sticks with you. It's a very relaxing game as well. I would highly encourage anyone, doesn't matter who you are, play it. Let's Play will do, but sometimes it's just a little bit of free will that you want to do something and the player doesn't, and you need to wait to do it. But yeah, it's a very fun game. You get really invested. The dialogue and the music and the art style, it's absolutely supreme. Brilliant. Bloody brilliant. But I don't know if I'll give it my vote. We'll see. We'll discuss the other games.
So you never really got into Overwatch. That's obviously the biggest title of this year, I could safely say.
Yeah, it made it into Ready Player One.
I got into Overwatch. I've played a bit of the old Overwatch.
It is a game that I think we've both played, though you really played it.
Mm-hmm. I don't know if I could give it my It's one of these games which I play passively.
I play a lot of
if
games
you understand
passively.
what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where it's just, I am not really up to anything. I'll play a couple matches of Overwatch.
I get what you mean.
Immediately striking off The Witness. Fuck The Witness. I hate it. If you like The Witness, you're wrong.
Woo! Oh, I've not played it, so I can't give an opinion. But you're so against it. I kind of want to give it my vote.
Titanfall 2, everyone loves the campaign.
You never spoke about No Man's Sky.
Oh god, did that come out in 2016?
Yeah.
Oh boy, the meme itself.
XCOM 2.
I said XCOM 2.
Did you?
Yes.
Well, I wasn't listening. Oh! Sid Meier's Civilization 6.
Neither of us have played it yet.
We're gonna a few more days.
Infinite Warfare. Did you play Infinite Warfare?
No, I didn't play Infinite Warfare.
No, that was one of the Call of Duties you skipped.
2015, 2016, 2018.
Gears of War 4 is when you got into the franchise, right?
I played 1, 2, might have played 3. I skipped Judgment, but I didn't get into it as a fan until 4. So yeah, 4's great. I really enjoyed 4. Firewatch, man. I want to get Firewatch, but there's not substance there.
This is kind of a weak year. Looking at it,
you know what I probably played quite a lot of in that year. The Division.
What? Oh, did I forget the Division?
Yeah. I played quite a bit of the Division. It's not going to get my vote, but I played quite a bit of the Division. Gears 4 solid. I could easily give it to Gears 4.
You're allowed to give it to Firewatch. It's okay. I'm not going to shame you for it.
Yeah. You know what, ladies and gentlemen, I'm going to give it Firewatch. It's such a, it's definitely the game I enjoyed most on this list. Maybe my prejudices are wondering if it's worthy, but fuck it, I'm going to own it. Firewatch, great game, gets my vote.
Okay. I think the Battleborn is a better game than Overwatch. I fucking said it. Try and stop me.
Oh, spicy. Well, I remember we were really excited for Battleborn for the longest time, and then they kind of fucked around with it in its release, and then Overwatch came out of nowhere and wiped the floor with it, and no one bought Battleborn apart from you. And it promptly was forgotten about.
Yep. I think the Battleborn, the actual multiplayer gameplay of it was more fun than Overwatch, but it's got problems, right? It's got like a loot box system, never fun. It's got a campaign which is terrible. I understand why it died, I get it. Garden Warfare 2, I have sunk so many hours into that game. A ridiculous amount. It's one of my favourite multiplayer games.
Yes, I can believe that.
You know what I'm leaning to on this list?
What?
And it may shock you, I'm leaning towards Ace Attorney Spirit of Justice.
Wow. wow. Have you not already put Ace Attorney on this list?
Dual Destinies was in 2013.
Yeah, but did you not give it his vote?
No, I didn't.
What did you vote for in 2013? Tomb Raider? Or no, Assassin's Creed. Assassin's Creed, of course.
Yeah, Assassin's Creed 4. Yeah. Yeah, this 2016 kind of a weak year, honestly.
I was still playing Destiny.
Yep. I'm gonna give it to Spirit of Justice. I'm gonna be weird that way.
Okay.
It's a classic Ace Attorney game. They travel to a foreign country and delve into a whole different kind of legal system.
A whole new world.
Yep.
I'm not going to sing the song.
I can't believe I did that. But whatever, let's move on to 2017.
2017, I'm looking ahead before you jump in. It is it's an interesting year. There'll be
it's a stronger year, to be sure.
I think it's quite a strong year. There's some games on it that I never would have said we played, but we have.
Mm-hmm. So, this one is probably Game of the Year for a lot of people, but neither of us have played it. Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild.
Yeah, a lot of people like that game.
It's Super Mario Odyssey.
Yep.
Cuphead.
I was wondering if you're going to bring up Cuphead, because that got announced back in 2014 or something.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cuphead.
Resident Evil 7.
Uh-huh.
South Park: The Fractured But Whole.
I watched the Let's Play.
Hollow Knight.
Never played it.
PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds.
PUBG, boy! Played a little bit of it.
Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice.
Don't know much about it.
Prey.
Yeah, Prey's a game I always see the cover of, and I think it's an Alien game. I've never ever played a frame of it. I've not even seen the trailer.
People like it. It looks a bit too spoopy for me, so I haven't played it.
It looks quite spoopy. That's true.
Yooka-Laylee.
Who you calling a lily?
So that's a no then.
No, I've never played it.
Horizon Zero Dawn, which is another game people love, but it was a PlayStation exclusive.
Yep.
Ghost Recon Wildlands.
Never played it.
Outlast 2.
I don't know. I played the first Outlast, which you never brought up earlier. Outlast 2, I don't know if I ever played.
The Evil Within 2.
Never played it.
Okay, so on to the list of games we played. For Honor.
Yeah, see, that's what I was wondering. For Honor. Yeah, that was
Halo Wars 2.
Yeah.
Mass Effect Andromeda.
Yeah.
Little indie game which I played called Rime.
Don't know what it is.
Obviously the best one on this list, Microsoft Ultimate Word Games.
Of course. Friend of the show.
Mm-hmm. What Remains of Edith Finch, which I think you should play. It's on Game Pass. It only takes 1 or 2 hours.
I'll give it a look.
Little indie game which I loved called Slime Rancher.
I loved that game too.
Agents of Mayhem, the most forgotten game in the world.
Yep.
Assassin's Creed Origins.
Yep.
Star Wars Battlefront 2.
Yep.
Fortnite.
Woo!
I don't know if that's Fortnite Battle Royale or if that's just Fortnite.
It will be Battle Royale. I think Fortnite in its Save the World form had been out, I think, for a couple of years beforehand. Battle Royale was 2017.
Okay. Destiny 2.
Yeah.
And Injustice 2.
Yep.
It's a much stronger list than last year, that's for sure.
Much stronger list.
So I'm afraid I am going to eliminate Microsoft Ultimate Word Games. That was just a meme.
You monster.
I've sunk so many hours into Microsoft Ultimate Word Games.
Did you mention Call of Duty?
Which Call of Duty came out? Was that World War II that came out in 2017?
2. Yeah.
I missed that, yep.
Right,
you can add that if you want.
Yeah, we'll add it.
I know you played that one.
Yeah, don't know if it's going to get my vote, but we'll add it. You know what, Kyle? It is an interesting year. Battlefront 2, you know, it's got a nice wee story. It's not a story-heavy game, but it's got a nice wee story to it. For Honor, you're the last person I would have ever thought to get hooked on it, but you did. We all left it, and Kyle remained.
I got it Games with Gold like last year, and I just filled in the For Honor hole.
We all played it, and we all kind of left it, apart from Kyle. Kyle stayed true, and it baffled everyone. We didn't know why you were still playing it, because it was okay, but it wasn't amazing, and you just kind of stayed.
I just got into it. I don't know what else to tell you. It's not on my list of top games or anything, but it's a fun game worthy of mention.
Destiny 2, I hung around for the first couple of DLCs and I left. I didn't care. I was before Destiny 2 came out. I kind of got burnt out eventually, and then I bought Destiny 2 because I spent so much time in Destiny 1, and I played Destiny 2, but I've left Destiny 2 and I've yet to return. I haven't bought the new big DLC that was its variant of the Tekken King. So Destiny 2 will not be getting my vote. Destiny 1.
What happened to Cade 6, Nathan?
What did happen to Cade 6?
They killed off the only character everyone likes.
Yeah, it's a shame. Zavala. People like Zavala.
Do people like Zavala?
Zavala is voiced by the concierge from the John Wick movies.
He's the guy from The Wire.
He is the guy from The Wire. So yeah, sorry, Destiny 2.
Well, obviously, Fortnite is the game you've played the most of in your entire life.
I don't know if we can say that, can we? Can we?
I think it's up there.
It's definitely up there. It's definitely up there. It's Halo Reach and Destiny 1 to contend with. Cuphead, sorry, I never played you, but you spent too much time. That was an interesting concept for a long while. Battlefront 2, let's say, a nice game.
I would like to play it, but I think it's too difficult for me. Yeah.
We spoke about For Honor. Call of Duty World War 2, right, for a long time. Obviously, people were Call of Duty out because of the quality looking so poor. I bought World War 2 because I thought finally it returned to form. And at the time, I was willing to kind of accept it because it was a step in the right direction. But it was trying to harp off Destiny a lot. It had a social space in it, like a kind of a third.
Had loot boxes, right?
It had loot boxes, and it had like a third party, a third person view kind of social hub space you could run around and dick about. And it was very strange for a Call of Duty game to have that.
Especially set during World War II.
You're kind of on the beaches of Normandy. It's weird. So, yeah, that was fun. Not the social space, but the game was okay at the time. But in retrospect, because of the Call of Duty game we've got now, it hasn't held up at all. It's a bit like the Halo 4. So sorry, you can't get it. Injustice 2, I spoke at length about Injustice 1 and Injustice 2 together, and they both stand side by side to be good, but to not get my vote. Halo Wars 2, in my opinion, is proof that 343 can do a good story. Halo Wars 2 is amazing, it's brilliant, I still play it to this day sometimes. It's very fun. We loved Halo Wars 1, so for them to announce all those years later that they were getting a sequel, people loved it. They kept, everything was very true to the first game. It wasn't like Halo 4 and Halo 5 where they kind of pretended like Halo 1, 2 and 3 never happened from an aesthetic point of view. Mass Effect Andromeda, oh spicy. I've still not finished it. I actually finally, years after kind of pretending that I'm going to play it, decided to uninstall it because I know I'm not going to finish it.
That's a shame.
Yeah, no, it is a shame because I did enjoy what I'd played of it, and the gameplay's pretty fun. I know lots of people trash Andromeda. I know there was some animation glitches in the faces. There was memes galore, but it's sorry, Mass Effect Andromeda, but I don't think I'm ever going to finish you. But I did enjoy what I played of you. You know what? It is going to have to be Fortnite. But I know maybe Save the World came out a little bit sooner, but Fortnite really kicked off when Battle Royale came out in 2017. I actually started playing it about near the end of Season 3. That would have been maybe March of 2018, maybe I started playing it. And it came out late 2017. So me and some friends, we jumped in Season 3. And we kind of didn't leave until maybe the end of maybe sometime this summer. That was all of 2018, pretty much most of 2019. That was over a year. We just sunk into Fortnite, and I
know.
Oh, you know. And you know, Fortnite Chapter 2 just came out. It came out a number of weeks ago now, and I bought the Battle Pass because I thought it was going to be just like the same as the last seasons. But me and friend of the show Ryan, we got burnt out, and we're kind of done. We're kind of done with Fortnite. It was only earlier today because I bought the Battle Pass. I'm going to be on it and finish these challenges, but I don't think I'm going to buy the next season. I'm kind of done now. It's been a fun year. Sorry, Fortnite, you've definitely been a fun year, and I've spent quite a bit of money on Fortnite as well, and I think every penny's been worth it. There's actually a Star Wars event on right now, which has caught my attention, but I'm not getting sucked back in. I'm puffed out. But Fortnite is going to get it for 2017, even though it's a game I played throughout 2018. But looking at the competition, there's nothing really stiff there for me, so Fortnite gets it.
I'm shocked you didn't give it to Halo Wars 2, honestly.
I spent so much time on Fortnite. Like, if Fortnite Battle Royale did come out in 2018, I would have given it to Halo Wars 2. Halo Wars 2 is such a good game, but I need to give it to Fortnite because I have such a fun time on Fortnite for a year.
Okay, well, I'll talk about some of the games that you didn't talk about then.
Okay.
Assassin's Creed Origins.
Oh, can I note something about Assassin's Creed Origins, please?
You never played it?
No, I got a free copy of it with my new PC, and
you gave it away.
I gave it away.
Yep. Assassin's Creed Origins. I enjoyed it. But now that Assassin's Creed Odyssey came out, it kind of feels like what Unity was to Syndicate, and that's really more insulting than it deserves. But I just found Origins it's got a really boring story to start with. Or not so much boring, but like badly done story would be the way to describe it.
Yeah, it's, I do remember getting that sentiment from a lot of people that played it.
It's just it feels like a story that's been patchworked together, and like Egypt, it was gorgeously rendered, like beautiful game, but running through the desert for most of it is just it gets kind of samey.
Yeah,
I guess
I
we'll
get
get to Odyssey when we get to next year, but
I get where you're coming from.
Slime Rancher, I genuinely find it one of the most relaxing games to play ever.
Slime Rancher was a really fun game. I had a lot of fun on Slime Rancher. Even right now, I can remember it quite vividly. It's a very small game, very fun game to play. I
can't give it my game though.
I think people would be mad to give it their game of the year, but it was a fun little game.
Since I vehemently refuse to play Fortnite, my vote is going to Halo Wars 2.
You know what? If we get to the point we have to eliminate one of the other games, I probably will allow you to eliminate Fortnite and give it to Halo Wars 2. But, you know, I think that is a very good choice.
We're getting close to the end now, 2018.
We're going to last year, ladies and gentlemen, 2018.
This year has a very few games that I've actually played, which was shocking to me. But, so here we go. Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
Yep, no one played that.
Yep.
Well, I know one.
Marvel Spider-Man. Would have loved to play it, but it's PlayStation exclusive.
I feel like I'll give it my vote, even though I never played it.
Hitman 2, never played it.
Yep.
Life is Strange 2.
Never played it.
Battlefield 5.
Never played it.
Fallout 76. Oh boy.
Oh boy. Of course I never played it, but I knew it was going to be trash.
Dad of Boy.
Dad of Boy. God of War for the less inclined audience.
Yes. Another game that I would have loved to play, but it's also PlayStation exclusive.
Yep.
Far Cry 5.
You know what the twist was in that game, by the way?
Oh, Far Cry 5?
No, Dad of Boy.
The twist?
Yeah.
That it's actually a sequel?
No, who the kid was.
Oh, he's Loki.
Yeah, he's Loki. Okay.
Yeah, I know that.
Yeah, just check.
Spoilers.
Who cares? We're summing up the decade. We're done.
Do you know the twist of Far Cry 5?
I didn't know there was a twist.
The nuclear apocalypse that happens at the end of that game.
Ah. Is that the twist that Far Cry Primal is also a sequel?
No. Well, we never mentioned Far Cry Primal.
We didn't.
I'm sure people really missed that on the list.
Yep. Oh boy. We need a whole other video or episode.
An indie darling that came out, which I never played, although I do own it, Celeste.
I'm familiar with it. I never played it.
A Way Out. You know, I just realised we missed. I can't remember when it came out. We never talked about Undertale.
I don't have a clue what it is.
You don't know Undertale's the one with, like, Sans. And, it's very memed. It's a very beloved indie game.
I'm Googling it.
I never played it. I watched the playthrough. It came out in 2015.
Yeah, I'm looking at images of it right now. I have... I can clearly see it's a very memed game. I don't have a clue. I've completely missed this entire subgenre of memedom. Don't have a clue what
it never came out on console, that's why.
Right, okay. I missed it. I don't have a clue what the game is.
Okay, A Way Out, which...
No.
That's that co-op game where you escape from prison.
Yep. Never played it.
Detroit Become Human, which I think was a massive failure.
Yeah, I think it was.
And We Happy Few, which I so wanted to be a good game.
I wanted to play it. It looked so promising, but I never played it because it spent too long, like, pissing about before release.
So, this leaves a very small list of games that I've actually played, but it's still a very strong list for me. Apart from the first one, Sea of Thieves.
Oh, Sea of Thieves, yes.
Shadow of the Tomb Raider.
Yep.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Yep.
Crackdown 3.
Yep.
And Red Dead Redemption 2. You've not played it. You've only played Sea of Thieves on that
I
list.
only played Sea of Thieves on that list. I feel like I should give Halo Wars 2 to 2017 and pretend Fortnite was 2018. Apparently Destiny 2 Forsaken's
You
counted as a
literally
separate
spent
game.
all of 2018 playing Fortnite.
All of 2018 was a Fortnite game for me. It's a Fortnite after all.
I mean, you could still give it to Spider-Man.
I could still give it to Spider-Man. You know what? I know we're being completely inconsistent with the rules that we pre-established earlier on about MCC and such in Destiny's Taken King, but Halo Wars 2 I'm going to give 2017, so that's another horn, and we're just going to have to, because there's fuck all here. For me, we're going to have
For
to
you, anyway.
Yeah, okay, well we can fight it out later over what game you pick, but for me, I'm going to have to give 2018 to Fortnite and 2017 to Halo Wars 2. Let's just auto-adjust that.
Okay, Crackdown 3, aka Terry Crews's Paycheck.
Terry Crews's Paycheck.
It was another Crackdown game that came, 10 years after the previous Crackdown game?
Crackdown 2, I don't know when Crackdown 2 was, let's have a look.
Crackdown 3 was like the memeiest of games that it was like a game that existed for 6 years before it came out. When did the first trailer for Crackdown 3 come out?
I wouldn't be surprised if it was 2013.
It was so long ago that it was honestly like, wow,
Right,
this
do
game
you know when
actually came out.
Guess when Crackdown 2 was?
2009?
2010.
Oh, we missed that. Sorry.
Yeah, so
It wasn't going to beat Halo Reach.
it
So.
wasn't going to be Halo Reach. And Crackdown 3 was... I'm getting Crackdown 3 here in 2019.
Do you? I had it as 20. You know what? Fuck it. It's not going to win 2019 either.
Sorry, Crackdown 3. Terry Crews, the game.
Mm-hmm. So really, Shadow of the Tomb Raider, I was so excited for,
Yeah.
and I have to give it a solid 7 out of 10. It's just it's not fun, it's fun, but it's not memorable.
That's not the worst praise.
It's got a really weak story. I don't want to get into spoilers because I know that you're probably going to play it one day.
One day I will.
So that leaves it down to 2 for me, because obviously I'm not nominating Sea of Thieves. Sea of Thieves is boring.
When you get Ryan, friend of the show, on.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey, Red Dead Redemption 2. I genuinely love both of these games.
Really?
Yes, I still think you should play Odyssey. Odyssey is the best Assassin's Creed game since Black Flag.
I've heard some people say that. Some people who didn't actually like Black Flag think this is the best Assassin's Creed game since Revelations.
People like Revelations?
Well, it's the end of the Ezio thing, and then there was obviously a very big shift in focus after Revelations. Story-wise, I like Revelations just fine.
I mean, obviously, Red Dead Redemption 2, it's most rich game ever.
Yeah, I'm surprised that you're conflicted. I thought you would have just went outright on Red Dead 2.
I would. I mean, I've explained this to you. Red Dead 2 is a game with things that I both absolutely love and things which I kind of despise. The main thing in Red Dead 2, which I don't like, is they've went all in on trying to make it realistic in a way which I just find annoying. Like, I've explained things like you have to clean your gun and you have to brush your horse of dirt.
Yeah.
And it's just it's so tedious and annoying.
I'm very anti-tedium. Like, that alone would kill Red Dead 2 for me. Like, I hated in Dead Rising 2 where you had to look after your daughter with medicine or she would die.
But on the other hand, the story of Red Dead 2 is so fucking amazing that it really is.
Is it worth it?
It really does eliminate some of that. Yes, it is worth it. Maybe you should watch a Let's Play.
Maybe I should.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
There we go.
I love it. It's not as solid a game as Red Dead 2 though, so I think in the end I'm giving it to Red Dead 2.
I heard that defeat in your voice. I knew it was going to Red Dead.
A very honourable mention to Assassin's Creed Odyssey.
Okay, doke. At least it went down with a smile.
And we're on to 2019, so there's a lot of games on here which we haven't played a lot of yet.
Nope, we haven't.
Let's just
Because
eliminate
game
the ones
season is
either.
always later in the year.
Yep. Games neither of us have played. Death Stranding, because it just came out and it's a PlayStation exclusive.
Yep.
So many of those, eh? It's really fucking irritating.
What made it worse is it happened later in the generation. Like early, it was pretty even, and then we got into like 2017 onwards, and it just started to be PlayStation exclusive. PlayStation
just pounding on us.
Yep.
Because all of these games are revered as classics.
I know.
Uncharted 4, God of Father of Boy.
Xbox just doesn't care because its business model is completely different. They're moving away from exclusives, you know.
Rage 2, I think, was pretty underwhelming to most people.
That's what I've heard.
Sekiro Shadows Die Twice. People seem to like that one. Never played it.
Mm-hmm.
Kingdom Hearts 3, finally. Never played the series, so...
Yeah, I don't have anything to say on that game either.
Metro Exodus.
Nope.
The Division 2.
I don't think I played it.
Control looks interesting. I want to play it. I just haven't, got it to yet.
Destiny 2 Shadowkeeper, because they keep counting the big DLCs as separate games.
Anthem, remember that?
I remember Anthem. Oh, Anthem. No, sorry, Anthem. I was really looking forward to Anthem. It's all these bloody games that the game demo like 3 years in advance, and 2 years later, no one cares.
See, I knew looking in, like, Anthem, it's probably going to be a failure. We talked about this before it came out on the podcast, I think. And it looks like it's BioWare trying to make Destiny, and it's just doomed to end in failure.
Yeah, exactly.
So games that came out this year. Outer Wilds, which I never finished, but I loved what I played of it.
Yep.
It's a little indie game where you explore a galaxy.
Mm-hmm. Vaguely familiar.
Mm-hmm. Borderlands 3, obviously.
Untitled Goose Game.
You can... Untitled Goose... I didn't include Untitled Goose Game, I'm sorry. I've never played Untitled... I know it's a big meme. Never played Untitled Goose Game.
Neither have I.
Borderlands 3, if you want to know my opinions on that, you can click down below.
Click the link.
Plants vs. Zombies Battle for Neighborville.
I mean, sure. I don't have an opinion on that.
No. The Outer Worlds, probably one of the biggest releases of this year.
Yeah, I
have thoughts.
I've played a little bit of it. But again, it's one of those games where for me it's much too early for me to give an opinion on. I can't even vote on it.
Jedi Fallen Order, you're currently playing it.
It just came out today. It's currently 7 minutes past 6 in the PM. It came out at midnight. And I played a little bit of it at midnight because it's all pre-installed. It definitely looks like it's going to be very Star Wars lore heavy. It looks really interesting so far. The gameplay is... I don't know if it's finicky or if I'm just bad. But it looks like it's going to be interesting. Unfortunately, it's one... I said this at the head of the episode. There are games yet to come out or have just came out in this generation that I feel like is too difficult to talk about because we haven't experienced them.
Call of Duty Modern Warfare, no subtitle.
Yep.
Gears 5.
Great game.
Apex Legends.
Apex Legends, yep.
That's it.
I'm looking through here. I think there's a couple of other ones.
Those are the big ones that I found.
Just Dance 2020.
How the fuck are they still making Just Dance games?
Because Usher. Devil May Cry 5.
Never played the series.
Death Stranding. Oh, we spoke about Death Stranding. Right, okay, yeah, there's nothing. I'm Mortal Kombat 11. I'm going to be quite blunt. 2019 was also a really heavy Fortnite year for me.
Mm-hmm. Just towards the tail end, you're finally starting to branch out and play other games. You got Gears 5, Modern Warfare, and Fallen Order, and you're getting Civ 6.
And Firewatch.
You're finally getting back into playing other games.
Yeah, and
it's really exciting.
It's a whole new world where, as we end the 2020s, this is like the prelude to the beginning of the 20s. I said as we end the 2020s. Sorry, this clip came from the future.
As we begin the Roaring 20s.
As we begin the Roaring 20s, this little bit here at the tail end of 2019 is like a prelude of what's to come. as I end the monotony of Fortnite, the 2020s will be a brave new world where I play lots of different games. And
hopefully.
You know what? I know it's a bit early to call. It just came out this month. But I need to give it to Call of Duty Modern Warfare.
I heard you liked it.
It is such a good game, Kyle. Goodness me. You know what? It's, again, like I said about World War II, I thought it was good at the time. It was, it kind of bit of Destiny social spaces, and it failed at that, and because Call of Duty had been so bad before, it was like a nice little bit of respite, but it wasn't the end of the journey. It was just a little taste of normality. But this game is the Call of Duty of the late noughties, early 2010s. It is very fun. It's hard hitting. The story is so good. It's the first really. I mean, it's bringing back old characters, so I get that it's banking a lot of name recognition. I'm not numb to that reality. But it ends clearly baiting a sequel, which I think it's going to get because people are liking this game. But I'm also under no illusions that it's not going to be 2020. We get it. It'll leapfrog a year. We won't get Modern Warfare.
Well, that's how the Call of Duty franchise works.
Yeah, we won't get a Modern Warfare.
It's made by 3 different publishers.
Yeah, we won't get a Modern Warfare 2 until no earlier than 2021, no later than 2022. But they kind of, the sequel bait at the end is like I think there's a post credit, or it's just before the credits. There's a whole game mode they locked out until PlayStation for a year.
We've talked about
this. Spoke about this. But the multiplayer is so much fun. The gunplay is great. The maps visually are a bit generic, but they play really well. But the story's great. The gameplay's pretty good. And again, it's just fun to not be on Fortnite anymore,
Okay, here's my dilemma. I so wanted to like the Outer Worlds. I was primed to this looks like a fun game I'm going to get into.
Everyone has been.
And everyone has been. And I've played it for 15 or 20 hours, I think. And I just completely fizzled out on it. I just lost all interest.
Sounds like me.
It does sound like you, and that doesn't happen to me very often.
I think this might be the start of something for you. Maybe you're getting fed up of expansive games.
I doubt it. It's just, there's things I can point to. I'm not a big fan of the art style at all. I think I think the best way to describe it is it's kind of an obnoxious art style.
It reminds me of a lot of other open world games.
Not me at all, but it's like the saturation's been turned up to 200%, and it's hard on the eyes, and all the people's faces look a bit like they're made of clay. It's very Uncanny Valley. And it's just so slow, is I think the issue with it. It's you just spend hours and hours in conversations, and I've played games where you do that, like Mass Effect. You spend so much time in conversations.
That's why I'm surprised you're fizzling out on it, because I've noticed that as well with all these conversations. And I'm like, it's not the same as Mass Effect. I will grant that, because I can play Mass Effect. I'm really struggling to play this. I want to listen to what they're saying, but they've got so much to say, and I feel like if I leave them, I'm missing out.
Here's the main issue. Mass Effect has a more interesting world to because you want to ask Garrus about the Turians and what's all up with the Turians. And this is it's like a colony where capitalism runs rampant. It's oh, okay. It's just not that. I'm just not invested in the world,
Yeah.
I don't know. I fizzled out on the Outer Worlds. It's a shame.
Finish it.
No, I didn't. I never finished it.
Not even the main story.
Nope.
Wow, that does surprise me. I don't know if I'm ever going to finish it, but it's...
Which doesn't leave me with a lot. I never finished the Outer Wilds because I love it, but it got a bit confusing for me, to be honest. I still want to go back and finish it. I really do, but I've just been doing other things. Which really only leaves me in the same position as you with Halo 5, with Borderlands 3, where it's I know I made an hour-long video about all the things I don't like about Borderlands 3. I still enjoyed it. At the end of the day, it's still a fun game. The same way you feel about Halo 5. The story's not very good, but it's really fun gameplay-wise.
Yes. The gameplay's absolutely solid, but... You're a bit underwhelmed with the story. I get that.
But yeah, I'm not going to give it to Battle for Neighborville. It's fine, but it's not as good as this last game. So, yeah, I guess I'm giving it to Borderlands 3. They just teased the first DLC, and oh boy, Handsome Jack's back again.
Yeah, I read Ryan, friend of the show.
He seems very excited about it, and
I was taken unawares as excitement. Ryan's usually a pretty level-headed guy, and I read it really excitedly, and I was like, that doesn't sound like Ryan.
I don't understand the excitement. It's like Handsome Jack, undisputably a great legendary game villain. Yes. That's so they brought him back and they gave him a backstory for the pre-sequel, which is fair enough.
Yeah.
And then they brought him back again for Tales, and to their credit, they did it pretty well, bringing him back in Tales. And then for Borderlands 3, it's like, oh my god, you're really bringing him back again? It's just let it go.
I think maybe they get really far into the main story of Borderlands 3 before they started working on DLC, and they realised this is quite underwhelming. What can we do?
But
it's like invoking Palpatine for the Rise of Skywalker.
It kind of feels that way, to be honest. Of like, fuck, what do we have? Bring back Handsome Jack again.
Fuck that storyline with the weird Promethean looking fucker. Ladies and gentlemen, you can click the link for Kyle's thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
But are you?
So yeah, 2019. It's kind of been an underwhelming year for me personally. I know you've had more success with the games this year.
The first year in a long time. This is like almost the highlight of this generation for me.
Well, here's the question. I guess I need to wait till you've played it a bit longer, but should I get Fallen Order? Should I do it?
My initial instincts are yes. Like, for instance, there's quite heavy references to the Clone Wars. There's Clone Wars elements in it. They reference the Night Sisters and Dathomir, but that is...
I know that Forrest Whitaker shows up in it at some point.
See, I think the marketing for this game has been really poor. It wasn't until reviews started coming out from people who'd actually played it start to finish got me interested. Forrest Whitaker showing up doesn't interest me. Freeing Wookiees doesn't interest me. So I was quite surprised, but the critics really turned me on it, and I think that's quite a good thing.
Well, that's the final year. You know what? Overall, it's been a pretty strong decade for games, I have to say.
It has been. It's been quite an interesting year for games. But are we going to start to cull this decade down and have our picks go against each other, or are we just going to agree to disagree?
I think for each time we feel pretty strongly about it, so I'm kind of happy to leave it where it is.
Yeah, that could be. This has been going over for over 2 hours, and we could have a whole other episode about trying to fight them against each other. But let's not.
How about we just end on a quick what are some things coming out next decade that you're looking forward to?
Halo Infinite.
I knew that was the first thing I knew you were going to bring up, and at this point, Halo Infinite is entering into like the Anthem level for me.
You're expecting
where it's like it's been
badness.
No, where it's just like what you were saying, where it's like it's been around for so long that the excitement has completely fizzled out.
I don't know if I'm sitting like really, really excited for it, like a giddy child, like I would have been a few years ago. But I'm looking forward to it abstractly because I just know I'm going to buy it. It's not like Anthem where I hope I'm going to buy it, but I might not. I just know I'm going to buy it. Like it's happening. I already know it. It's like when people talk about not pre-ordering games. I fundamentally think maybe pre-orders are bad things because it gives companies incentives not to finish their games. But see if I know I'm buying it. Like I just know I'm buying it day one anyway. I'm just going to do it, man. So I can get the pre-install. I know I'm buying Halo Infinite. Like Halo Infinite's getting bought. So I'm excited because I want to know what they're going to do with it. What they're going to do with my money.
A game that we know almost nothing about right now, but I'm quite curious about, is Ubisoft's next new franchise, Heroes and Monsters?
Yeah,
I think it's called.
I knew something like not Monster Hunter, but I knew there was Monster in the title.
Which is like, they're finally removing themselves of the historical shackles and just making a full game about it, which could be interesting, and interested to see where they go in that direction.
This is something I've personally observed that I've thought they've wanted to do for a number of years now, but have not been allowed to do.
Yes, they have. They've been trying harder and harder to still fit the mythological stuff into Assassin's Creed without breaking history, which they kind of fail at, but you know.
But the game's fine anyway.
The game's still good. So, yep, looking forward to that. I'm sure there was one that I was thinking of. Lego Star Wars, the ultimate trilogy.
The ultimate saga, rather, of all 9 films.
Yeah, what? Yep. It's going to be great.
You know what? I'm going to buy it. I love the.
I know you are.
I'm going to buy it. The original. The original.
So far, the trailers haven't shown any talking, which is exciting.
Yeah. There's only one trailer, no?
Yeah, it's just the one they showed at E3.
Yeah.
So far.
That was a good trailer. Obviously, the original trilogy Lego game, the first Lego game ever, is brilliant. The original trilogy game was great. The complete saga of all 6 movies. God, the complete saga with 6 movies. How quaint does that sound now? That was that was fun. That was good. Then there was the Clone Wars one. Was there more than one Clone Wars Lego game?
No, they did Lego Star Wars 3, the Clone Wars, and it was only like the first 3 seasons of the Clone Wars, which is annoying, because those are the 3 weaker seasons of the Clone Wars.
Right, because I own that game because it was Games for Gold and not played it yet, and I felt like there was 2. I don't know why, I felt there was 2 Clone Wars Lego games.
No, I wish there was, but they never get into the later Clone Wars stuff.
Right, okay. So I'm probably going to play that one.
And they talk in that one, I believe.
Do they? Interesting. But yeah, so I'm going to buy that. I'm going to buy Halo. I know they piss around with like announcing games 3 years before they do anything, but see, because we're also not only reaching the end of the decade, it's the end of the generation. Like next year, we're going to get a PlayStation 5 and an Xbox, whatever.
Here's the thing: I will most likely be working at that point. Yeah. I think this might be the first time ever where I just say fuck it and get both.
You're going to get both?
Yeah.
Oh, that's interesting. I know for the exclusives.
Yes, I am sick and tired of missing out on all these fantastic PlayStation exclusives.
Yeah, man. I mean, I don't think you're wrong for one second.
I mean, obviously, I have to stick with Xbox now to keep my almost 20,000 gamer score. But
one of our other friends, he spoke about that too. And he said that he didn't speak about getting both necessarily, but he said that he might get a PlayStation. And I think he's mellowing on it. I think he kind of said it in a moment of frustration with how Xbox aren't getting any of the exclusives that are getting a lot of media attention. But he did seriously consider getting a PlayStation 5 and just leaving Xbox. But again, I think he's mellowed on it because I think he realised that no one else is. Or at this moment in time, no one else is. I could be wrong and everybody else gets a PlayStation 5. You get both and I'm the only one with an Xbox One and I'm left out in the cold.
Well, an Xbox Project Scarlet or whatever worse name they decide to give it.
So I don't know what they're going to name it, but I'm Xbox loyal. I'm going to get an Xbox. My only issue with getting 2 consoles is the other console would just sit unused. I would fire it up once every 2 years for whatever Spider-Man or Last of Us level exclusive came out. The new Marvel Avengers game, I'm going to get that.
I think I'm okay with that.
I'm going to get the new Avengers. I think it's just a big waste.
Oh, I completely forgot about the Avengers game.
Yeah, I know, because it's really forgettable.
I know that a new trailer came out for that, and it still just doesn't interest me that much.
I'm going to get it. But I understand why people aren't excited for it. It feels a little bit like how they've handled the Jedi Fallen Order marketing. It looks really underwhelming, but I'm hoping it'll be better.
They're working on a new Dragon Age game, which I'm excited for, but apparently, based on current rumours, it won't be out till like 2023, which is very disappointing. Wow. That's almost a decade after the previous game.
Do you remember Scalebound? I wish they made that game. Scalebound looked really good. Scalebound did look really good.
I still have my fingers crossed that one day they'll release Skull and Bones.
No, we're going to get it, man. It'll be a launch title. It'll be the new Rise, Son of Rome.
Cyberpunk, you got any interest in that?
I forgot all about that. Yeah, I'll get Cyberpunk.
Keanu Reeves.
What really annoys me though, I don't know if these are going to be both platform games or just PlayStation.
I mean, it's on the Xbox One store at the moment.
There's so many games that's like, oh, this might not cross over Project Scarlet, so you buy it on Xbox One and you just kind of you have no incentive to buy an upgrade. I've got a feeling that that'll be a big thing where they say all your Xbox One games can be played on Project Scarlet today.
They're absolutely going to have day one backwards compatibility. Yeah. They know how much they fucked up with the Xbox One not having backwards compatibility.
PlayStation 4 didn't have it even before then. Xbox One had backwards compatibility first, but the Xbox One just made so many other problems.
A huge focus on Kinect.
Yeah.
The whole point of it being the Xbox One being like you can watch your TV on it.
It was a media console. Like, it wasn't one as in 1 out of 2. It was one as in all in one. It was a poor thing, and the title is like the only thing that exists of that thing. That era, the only thing that remains is the title Xbox One. Because it's not Xbox One.
There was also the whole thing where you couldn't use pre-owned games.
Yeah, they wanted to try.
Remember that whole controversy?
Yeah, they wanted to like laser write like you use a disc and that's it marked forever. It was thank God that none of that went ahead. But yeah, that's the only thing that's consoling me about next gen is that backwards compatible on all Xbox One. They've hopefully
learned from their mistakes.
All Xbox One titles should be backwards compatibility on day one because there's so many games coming out just now. And through until probably the launch of next gen, that like even Cyberpunk and all that, like what happens if you buy it and then by the time it comes out and next gen comes out and you're stuck on Xbox One because you have no incentive to upgrade, and that's a business problem for them as well.
That's what happened to me with the 360 for a few years, if you remember.
Yeah, I pre-ordered the day one edition of the Xbox One, and then you and some other people talked me out of it because everybody was staying on 360, and I think it ended up only one or two of our other friends actually upgraded on day one.
That's because, like, what did we have for launch titles? Like, Rise Son of Rome?
Yeah.
It wasn't worth it just for a graphical improvement.
COD Ghost.
I mean, that's why I do think that they'll be having the backwards compatible one, so that it basically eliminates the need to keep your Xbox One.
Yeah. Yeah, I completely agree.
And it'll encourage more people to just buy it.
Yeah, I mean, that's that. I'm going to get one. I'm going to get an next gen as soon as possible, but I can't get both because the other console will spend months unused, and I would feel really bad about that investment.
Here's the thing: I don't invest any money in watching films, so I'm good.
That's true. That's true.
I think we're done. Yeah. That was a long one.
So, ladies and gentlemen,
and you thought you wouldn't have anything to say.
Yeah, I thought I wouldn't have anything to say. Turns out we filmed it fine. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we usually don't do sign-offs, but I feel it's very necessary for this because I think this might be our last episode of the year unless something major happens. We'll probably do the Rise of Skywalker review, but that might not be until January, for all we know. Thank you for joining us for our roundup of this decade in video games. And we'll see you in the next episode.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.